Welcome to Lincoln, Nebraska. It is Class C1 Championship football on Saunders County Online, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and 99.3 FM KWAB LPFM in Wahoo, Nebraska. I'm Kelly Johnson. John Herrera, Brian Abrahams. We are here at Lincoln Memorial Stadium. It is the C1 Championship between the Wahoo Warriors and the Central City Buffaloes, right?
Bison.
Close enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're not able to do video, obviously, here, but you can sync us up with NET and be able to listen locally. And again, we're going to say thank you to all the sponsors who have been a part of the activities department for Wahoo this whole season and continuing on. But right now, let's just jump into it. The kids here, they're getting the full Nebraska treatment. They just had the tunnel walk and all that stuff going on. And what are you guys thinking about being up here? And it's much nicer than last year. We're actually in heated conditions.
Yeah, you get spoiled actually a little bit up here, but it's certainly, when you grow up as a young man in Nebraska playing high school football, this is the goal, right? This is where you want to be at the end of the year in Memorial Stadium, and the Warriors, John, have done exactly that, right? We just talked about this. They've come out and they've taken care of business every single game this year, and one more step in front of them to take it one step further than they did last year with a state championship this year. Of course, last year finishing as the runner-up.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic year, and what a great. I mean, we're sitting up here looking down at Ants, seeing the Central City kids running out right now. What a great view of the game. It's kind of eerie. It's quiet up here. It's so quiet.
Yeah.
We don't have the PA announcer next to us and everybody hollering and screaming. But fantastic season for the Warriors. Their theme is kind of like back in the 90s when Nebraska lost to Florida State. They had that unfinished business that next year. They really want to get that taste out of their mouth and get to the top of the heap. Last year, it felt like to a lot of people we were a year ahead of schedule because there were a lot of sophomores on the field, a lot of new faces. We had a good senior group and a big sophomore group that made a lot of plays, starting quarterback and Kip and Noah and all these guys came on the scene last year. And they won some games early that all of a sudden put in their mind, hey, we can be a pretty good team. We just beat Pierce. We just beat Ashland. We can be a pretty good team. And they rattled off all those wins, and they got to here, and they faced a really, really good Boone Central team. Big, powerful running attack, a lot of senior-laden, just power football. And I believe that game was 11-0 maybe, if I remember right. I mean, it was a dogfight. And this year, everybody's bigger, faster, stronger. The line has gotten a year older. Those kids, for the most part, are all back. There were a couple guys that they lost from last year. But they're a seasoned team. They're a confident team, another year in the weight room. And they've just got this mentality where and I see it on Central City's website and some of their stuff. They want to go 1-0. And that's really the mentality we have at Wahoo. They don't care if we're playing a team that's, 2-5 this week. We're going to play them the same way if we were playing, down here in Lincoln. And so right now it's literally 1-0. I mean, it's the process. Coach Fox preaches so much the process to get to that next level. It's all about what are we going to do today to get better, and then can we do better this Friday than we did last Friday, and just chip away at it. And we're facing a pretty tough opponent this week. And although we've had a pretty prolific year, I mean, Kip has been explosive. Jace running the offense. 8 different guys have caught touchdown passes. It's just been fantastic. And we got all these dudes from Central City lined up that are on the other side of the ball that really, I think, is probably the toughest team we've played this year.
Yeah, Central City is, just to catch everybody up, they're the number 5 seed here in the C1 playoff bracket. They are now 11-1. They entered the playoffs with a record of 8-1, and then they defeated Fort Calhoun, and then Columbus Lakeview, who was the 4 seed, and then in the semifinals they upset the number 1 seed Sydney, who at that point was undefeated. So to your point, John, this is a team that's also been tested, and they've proven themselves rather. The one loss they had was a 56-55 loss to Cozad in the second game of the year. So this is a team that's now obviously riding a very long win streak, and they can score some points too. We talked about Wahoo; they've scored 50 or more now. I think 8 games in a row. But Central City as well, outside of the 19-7 win over Lakeview, they're capable of putting up some points.
Yeah, and they've been putting up points, all year as well. I mean, that this team is on the cusp of a record for scoring. The Wahoo kids are, but this Central City team, I mean, early in the year, it's kind of weird. Early in the year, I'm a shop teacher, so I was out talking to their shop teacher about some stuff, and I just glanced over, and I saw him practicing on the field, and I could see him chucking the ball all over the field. I saw big linemen. I saw guys moving around. I thought, that's kind of a good-looking team. And I came back and I remember talking with some guys at school. I was like, boy, Central City looks kind of good. They got that nice turf field over there. And sure enough, I mean, they got a 2,500-yard passer. They got a 2,000-yard rusher. They've got a sophomore that's kind of a wingback tight end type kid who is really dynamic, and they spread it out. I mean, their run to pass is almost 50%. Now, they lean on their guy, kind of like our Kip is their Corbin Keys. He's a 1,900-yard, 7 yards a carry guy, 29 total touchdowns, 3,300-yard career rusher. So he's a junior. He's a very accomplished kid, much like Kip, a junior. So and their quarterback's a junior, and that other good receiver is a sophomore. So I mean, they got a lot of youth on their team, kind of like we were last year. A lot of young guys have all of a sudden stepped up, and they've always been a good program. They've always been a real dynamic offense, and they're going to be tough. I think the key today is going to be, as a line coach, I always say it's the line, but that matchup, they're explosive, we're explosive. Can they score on our defense? Can they consistently stay on schedule, stay on the chains? And that's really what I think our key is. We need to stay on schedule, move the sticks, and keep the ball away from them like we've done all year. I think stopping that offense that they have is huge because they're used to scoring at will just about on everybody. Now, they had a tough game against Lakeview, and they've had some battles in the playoff. The Central City game was really close. We were doing our game a week ago, and we're watching on Score Feed, and I was watching the feed online on my phone, and Sydney was going in to win that game with like 9 minutes left to go ahead anyway, and Central City stopped them, scored right away, scored again, and so they kind of blew that game open. But that game was a really close, tough game. So how are these two teams going to react today when everything's on the line?
Yeah, it's going to be a good test for both the Warriors' offense and their defense. And we talked a lot about Wahoo's offense. We can talk about their defense here in just a little bit. Maybe this would be a good time to take a break. We're about to get the national anthem as the starters for both teams have been announced. We're less than 2 minutes away from kickoff here, so we'll step away, turn it back to our sponsors, and we'll be back from Memorial Stadium with the Class C1 state championship game.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Bring home happy from the Wahoo DQ. We have a large variety of ice cream cakes for any occasion, made with vanilla and chocolate soft serve and filled with hot fudge and cake crunch. Grab-and-go cakes are available for last-minute parties, or call ahead and have one specifically designed for you. We also keep boxes of Dilly and Buster bars, which are great for keeping in your freezer, at home, and snacking on throughout the week. Stop into the Wahoo DQ today for your cake and novelty needs. The Wahoo DQ is located at 1122 North Chestnut Street in Wahoo.
Wahoo State Bank gives you the home team advantage. From the beginning of your financial experience with Penny Partners, Kids Club with Richie Rover, to student checking for those age 15 through 25, offering a variety of benefits that make banking easy when you're home or away, or if you're looking to finance the future home. Wahoo State Bank has the home team to work with you through life. Member FDIC. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, and a great rendition right there of the national anthem. Unfortunately, we don't have a feed to be able to pull it in here. But again, we are ready for some football. It is the Wahoo Warriors versus Central City Bison. And unfortunately, we can't bring you the video here, but we can bring you the local commentary, the local call. We have John Herrera, part of the schools right here, and Brian Abrahams, a great, phenomenal play announcer. Thank you for joining us today, guys.
Absolutely happy to be here, and very, very excited here for the Warriors to get things started. Wahoo, actually, Central City won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, so Wahoo will get the football to start this game. And as we headed to the break there, I want to just take a quick second to talk about the Warriors' defense. So they have 5 shutouts this season, and only once in the last 8 games have they allowed more than one score. It was a 53-14 win over Boys Town. Otherwise, you look at a lot of 0s, 6s, 7s, and 8s, John, and you talk about the Central City offense, and I think for good reason. But this Warriors defense, they're pretty stout.
Yeah, they're a bunch of nasty dudes. When I go down that score, I remember Ashland Greenwood, their varsity scored on our guys 14 points. Aurora scored, I believe, 3 times on our older kids. That game was a little bit of a early track meet, and then I don't think we gave up a single point with the varsity in the game until the first play of the Boys Town game. They rattled off like a 70-yard play that started the game. Other than that, our upper, you put the young kids in at the end, and if they give up a touchdown, whatever. But I really look at it as the dudes that make the money for the program. They've only given up since the second or third game of the season. They've only given up 1 touchdown, and that was the first play of the Boys Town game. So they've been really dialed in. And that front 7, today we'll probably be running more of a 3-man front, but whether it's a 4-3 or 3-4 or whatever it looks like, that front 7 has been extremely stout. And today the back half of the defense will have their hands full because they're going to be in a lot of spread sets and a lot of motion, a lot of eye candy in front of us. But really there's 3 dudes. You're going to look at Corbin Keys, who's their stud running back. He's going to touch it a lot today. You've got number 13, Dent, and number 26, Hankey. Those 3 guys are the targets. They are the dudes for Central City who are going to touch the ball and make the hay. The quarterback hasn't shown that he's much of a runner, but he can sling it around pretty good, and he's a good athlete. He's a big kid. He's a 6'2" kid, so he can see well. And they're going to be prolific if given the opportunities. But I think the pressure that our defense can put on Zygmunt today is going to be huge. Can we force him to make some bad throws? Can we play good run defense and stay on schedule and kind of play keep away is kind of the name of the game. But with 2 high-powered offenses, you hate to have a track meet today, but I think our defense is the key. Can we keep this to a low-scoring game for Central City? And then our offense just is, unless they're off, is pretty prolific and is going to be efficient.
Just need to do what they do. We're ready We're ready for the opening kickoff here. So Wahoo will be working from north to south. So they await the kick in the north end zone. Landon Fye and Kip Brigham are back there. The wind, by the way, is blowing out of the south, so into the face of the Warriors here to start the game. Not blowing all that stiff, but there is certainly enough to be moving the flags. And we are underway as this ball is in the air. It's going to be handled by Brigham at the 5. Out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Makes a man miss. He's got some space. He's to the 30, out to the 35, to the 45, and that's where he's knocked out of bounds. However, we do have a flag thrown back in the neighborhood of the 20-yard line, so that good return may be coming back.
Yep, there's that Hankey again on the turf. Most likely a hold of some sort right at the point of attack when Kip first made his first move there. So I'm not exactly sure who it was on, but it was probably either the up back in front of him or the other returner.
Surprised at all, John, that they elected to kick to him?
I'm really shocked that they kicked to him. And, there's so many different ways to approach this game. If you're a team, you can be like, you know what, we don't care who they have. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to cover the field. But there's definitely hey, don't kick to that kid.
Right.
Because you take that holding call off of there, and we got the ball at midfield because that was a nice return. And you give Kip a bunch of space to work with, and that's trouble. It looks like it was one of our guys blocking one of their bullets coming down. Maybe Cash Parsons maybe on that. But
yeah, that's going to move it back inside of the 10, unfortunately. So what would have been really great field position to start this game. has now been moved back into the shadow of the Warriors' goalpost. That's where Jace Kaminsky will take the first snap of the game. He's going to send 2 receivers to his right, 1 man to his left. Motions a couple of men to his right as well. He's back there in the backfield by himself. He'll take the shotgun snap. He's going to hand off, and crossing in front of him out across the 10 to the 11-yard line. That's going to be Brigham, who came in from the receiver spot in motion. His first carry of the game. He picks up, we'll call it 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, early on, Coach Fox has probably got some scripted plays. He's probably got some motion he wants to put in. He wants to see where is Central City going to move when we do this or we do that. What's the coverage going to look like? Do we have some gaps to work with? And right away we go to that bunch set, and then we come out into our offensive set to test them.
So on 2nd and 8, they'll move the ball over closer to the right side hash mark. It's a handoff to Brigham straight up the middle, follows a couple of blockers, makes one man miss, and he's out to the 20-yard line, or rather just shy of the 20, but it should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, good play right there, right up the middle. And that's just Kip ducking in there behind his dudes and just finding a seam and pushing forward. So it's that was just a fight right there. There was nothing special about that play.
Brigham listed at 5'10", 175. As John said, got right in behind that offensive line and picked up the first down. Now on 1st and 10, we're going to get a flag thrown for motion in the backfield. A couple of Warriors moving at the same time, so that'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15.
Yeah, and the other thing that happens when you come down here is you're in the house that Tom Osborne and Bob Devaney built. So there's nerves, there's jitters, and you really – your first couple series, you're surviving the experience.
Right.
Unless a big play happens. In 19, we had a big play right away that kind of broke all those nerves. But, right here, we just want to chip away. We want to do what we do and just settle into this game and, get hit a few times and just play a football game,
Yeah, on 1st and 15, it looks like they ran the exact same play that they tried to get started on 1st and 10. Little motion and a handoff to Brigham up the middle. Kip got maybe a yard, perhaps 2 on that, but it's going to be 2nd and long here for the Warriors from just about the 17. They're going to try to go quick here as they line up. They'll send 2 receivers out to the right. Kaminsky's in the shotgun with the tailback next to him. That's Brigham on his right side. There's a snap, and our first pass of the ball game. It's thrown out here to the near side, complete, making a couple of men miss across the 25, and down near the 30-yard line is Caden Kristen. He's going to be just shy of the first down, but he picked up about the 12 when he needed 13. 3rd down and 1 coming up here from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and a really nice play by Caden to kind of get us back on schedule. So 3rd and 1 is doable. 2nd and 13 was a little bit tricky, but nice play right there.
A little bit of a different look here for the Warriors. Now they motion out of it with Kaminsky in the shotgun. He'll hand off to Brigham again. Kip's going to try to get that left side. He is hit, still on his feet.
Caden Smart right there on the jet sweep.
Oh,
right
sorry.
there. 26, yeah.
Yeah, good call. You're right there. It was not Brigham. It was Smart who turned the corner and got out to the 34-yard line and enough for a first down.
Yeah, and Caden Smart's a guy that doesn't show up on your radar really, but if you watch us play, if you really watch us play, he shows up a lot because he's a really good defensive player. And when we run that double handoff play, he's a lot of times the guy running that up inside, and he is a tough runner, and he's a good athlete who would start on almost every team we play. It's just we have 3 dudes that are varsity running backs.
Right, and on
we had
first down, fumbled the exchange there as I think Kaminsky was trying to pull it away from Brigham, and the ball got knocked out of his hands. Luckily, Jace was able to fall back on top of it. The bad news is they lost, I think, 6 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, a couple of miscues early here. We just got to settle in, relax. It's like in Hoosiers when they went out and they measured the height of the hoop. This field's the same size as our field. We just got to play football, boys. I know it's turf. It's a little different than we're used to, but it's really not much different. It's just a football game.
So on 2nd and 16.
Now what? What the heck was that?
It was a weird start to the play. I think
nobody was ready.
Well, the ball was snapped, and I believe Kaminsky thought that somebody had moved. No flag was thrown, and really the offense and the defense kind of stood there. Eventually, they handed off to Brigham. Kip took it across the 30 to about the 31, but certainly not the play that they were hoping for, and it's going to leave 3rd and long.
That was super strange. Everybody, Kip and Jace were standing next to each other going, is this really a play? We better go. And even Central City just watching it.
Yeah.
That was odd.
So 3rd and 13. Big test here for the Warriors on their opening drive. 7:50 left to play in the first quarter. 2 receivers in the formation. They'll motion both of them to the right side. Brigham and Kaminsky in the backfield. Jace takes the snap. He rolls to his right, looking downfield. Now he's got some room to run. He's going to tuck it. He's across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Good job there by the Bison defense as they collapse on him there. He got it back to the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 4th down and 9, and the Warriors are going to have to punt.
Yeah. Yep, and they played good defense there. They had our guys covered downfield. Jace was looking for somebody to outlet the ball to, and Jace is not the guy that's going to force something or do something that's going to cost you. He's just going to do what he can do, and if he takes the sack, he takes the sack. But here we go defense now.
Just a matter of getting off schedule, I think, on that 1st and 10 and backing it up to 1st and 15.
Yep.
The punt is blocked by Central City. It's going to be picked up at the 50-yard line and carried into Warrior territory inside of the 40 to about the 36, 37. So good job there by the Bison punt block team. They got one, and now Central City will have really good field position to start their first drive.
Yeah, and a breakdown up front somewhere. Somebody got beat inside because it came right up the middle, and we got the joy of instant replay right here, and it looks like somebody came right up the A-gap. And usually we have 2 guys standing there, and when I first watched it, I thought somebody ran into Caden and we would get a penalty on it, but he got a tip. He got a piece of that ball, so free play.
So it's 1st and 10 for Central City inside of Wahoo territory. Parker Zickman's going to take a shot down the field on the first play. It is incomplete. Into double coverage. Nicely done there. Knocked away by the Warriors defense inside of the 10-yard line. That will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they're taking their shot in. A play like that, when you have a big play like that, a lot of teams will take a shot right away to try to just really put the knife in. And Sam Markson came over and gave a pretty good shot. Landon Fye was right there on the coverage. Really good job by those guys to defend that.
Warriors defense going to be tested here on the opening drive. Parker Zickman is the quarterback. He is a 6'1 junior. He's going to hand off here on 2nd down. Nice pursuit by the Wahoo defense, dropping the ball carrier behind the 40, back to the 41-yard line. Corbin Keys, I think, was the young man who had the ball. He's going to lose 3 on the play and sets up 3rd down. Actually, they're going to say a loss of 4. It's 3rd and 14.
Yeah, that's the guy that our guys up front are really going to be dialed into. He's a playmaker. He's their Kip, and he's been a productive guy.
On 3rd down, they will send 2 receivers to the right, 1 man here to the left to the near side. Keys is in the backfield. Actually, I think that's Turner Hankey maybe that's lined up next to Zickman. A little tough to see. They're turned sideways for us here at the moment as they check over to the sideline. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. They do get the snap off. Zickman back to pass, and it is incomplete. I'm not sure that he and his receiver were on the same page there. That's going to set up 4th and 14.
Yeah, it looks like they had Hankey in the slot there. He's a big kid, and their other receiver there, they look like a basketball team. They're all about 6'2", 6 foot tall, and just a miscommunication because that ball landed nowhere near where the receiver was. So
now on 4th down, ball at the Wahoo 41-yard line, 5:56 still left to play in the first quarter, and Central City, for the moment, lining up to go for it. 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left as Keys is in the backfield. Now he's going to slide back and looks like he's going to handle the punting duties here. It's a low punt and he pulled it to his left, as John said. He shanked it, went out of bounds, and it's going to be marked at the 25-yard line. So it's going to be a net of only 16 yards. Certainly not what Central City was hoping for there. But the Warriors defense tested for the first time in the game, and they passed the test. They get a 3 and out, and now they'll get the football back.
Yeah, and with that big play with the block punt and all that, winning the toss and deferring and all that and being on defense first, they immediately kind of got the advantage for the first half by getting the ball right away. So now everything's kind of evened out. Hopefully, if you're over there on the Wahoo sideline, and really Central sideline too, they're like, okay, we've both had a series. We've both been hit in the mouth a couple of times. We've tackled. We've hit. Let's just calm down and let's just play the game that we know we can play because the miscues that Wahoo have had is pretty unconventional for what they've done all year. They've been really clean, and the penalties and that weird play where everybody stood still was kind of strange. But they'll get calmed down and they'll play, and then the nerves of this game don't overtake what we're here for, which is just to play a good game.
Yeah, exactly. Typically a very disciplined team, and one advantage here of playing on state championship Tuesday, I guess it is here, is the additional timeouts. We've got a media timeout. Both teams huddled on their respective sidelines here, so we can take one as well, Kelly, if you'd like, and we'll come back when they're ready to get started.
Yeah, just want to take a moment to say thank you to sponsors who are part of the broadcast all season and all year long. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, JEO Consulting, Sand Creek Construction, Inspro, Simon's Home Store, Retire Path, Rivalry, Scooters Coffee, Doan Tigers, Titles Bar and Lounge, Union Bank and Trust, Vermaline Excavation, Wahoo State Bank, Wahoops, Dairy Queen, First Bank of Nebraska, Wahoo. I want to say thank you to all the sponsors and everybody who's a part of our broadcast, bringing this Wahoo program to you on Saunders County Online on 99.3 FM KWAB and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube.
And we are just about ready to resume play as our media official is making his way off of the field. Warriors will have it first down and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Second drive of the ball game, they will send two receivers to the right. That's the short side of the field. Kaminsky sends a man in motion. He will hand it off. That is going to be landed Fye trying to turn the corner. Pretty good tackle made there by Central City as Fye could not quite get to the edge. He's going to pick up maybe a couple of yards, sets up second down, and they'll call it 9.
Yeah, strung it out there. That was good. I thought maybe he'd get around that corner. It was just one block away, but you have a good team that's used to defending the spread offense. If they run the spread offense, they're going to be used to defending it every day in practice. So good job by the Bison there.
See if Wahoo goes back to running in between the tackles. They had a little bit of success with Brigham on that first drive by doing that, and here's an attempt at it. They'll hand it off. Kip follows his pulling guard up to about the 27, 28-yard line, so pretty good pickup there, and sets up third down.
Yeah, and they're going to stay on schedule. They're going to want to do what they want to do, and really this is going to be a game, I think, that's going to be won in the trenches there, as most of these games are. But as long as we can stay on schedule, whether it's right now or later in the game, those runs are going to start being more effective as the defense wears down and as you get a feel for where those gaps are hitting.
3rd and 6 coming up from the 28-yard line. Kaminsky takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left. Wants to throw. He dumps it out in the flat. Pass is caught short of the 30 and muscling his way out to the 30-yard line after the catch. Didn't quite catch the number
Smart
on there, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
Caden Smart.
Yep, 26 Caden
Yeah,
Smart.
you're right. Yep, thank you very much. But shy of the first down, and we're going to see another Wahoo punt here. I believe it's 4th and 4 from the 30. And now the key is to make sure you block it correctly and get a good punt off here and avoid having another one blocked.
Absolutely. We run a little bit of an unconventional-looking punt formation. It looks like there's huge gaps on either side of the A-gaps, but there's guys right there, and it's because you need eligible receivers right there, and it was a weakness on the first punt, but it looks like they dialed that in.
Much better blocking there for Caden Christen as he gets the punt to the 40, and there
we go.
Yeah, the Bison elect to field it in a crowd of Wahoo coverage men, but nowhere to go on the return. Just one of those things you don't typically see. You let that ball sort of roll and let it get down. Just trying to avoid a silly fumble there, but did not happen. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Central City from the 41.
Yeah, I think that kid probably felt, you know what, if this ball lands on the ground, it could bounce back another 5 or 6 yards, and he's trying to preserve that. But that is a risky thing. If he bobbles that, there's 3 Warriors around him that'll rip that ball right out. So it was a little stressful moment there for the Bison.
1st and 10 for Central City. 3:39 left to play in the first quarter as Zickman gets back out under center. Actually, from the shotgun, I should correct myself. He's going to hand off on a little end around to Truman Ryan, and Eli Shada comes into the backfield and drops that play really before it could get started.
Yeah, and Eli didn't play last week. He had an injury where he was kind of being precautious on it, and I think he's playing today, just kind of gutting it out. But he's a player, and he's not going to miss this game. It wasn't something that can keep him off the field. They were being precautious last week, but great play by him on the edge there.
So the Bison pick up 1 yard at 2nd down and 9. Zickman back to pass, fires a pass out into the flat, and He finds Keys, his tailback, but he's got no room to run. Wahoo with a good gang tackle there, led by Harrison Kruger. And then a host of other Wahoo Warriors dropped him actually for a loss back behind the original line of scrimmage. I think it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, great to see a lot of blue jerseys around the ball there. When they throw that ball out there to the perimeter, and you get a block, if you don't have good pursuit from the inside, he could cut it back, and then he's a playmaker. So great job by our defense up front.
3rd and 11 coming from the left side hash mark. They'll send 2 receivers to the left, 2 men wide to the right. Zickman from the shotgun with Keys in the backfield with him. They're going to set up a screen. Keys with the catch. He's got blockers in front of him. He's across the 50 and into Wahoo territory. It's going to be enough for a first down as he picked up about 15. And you could tell right away, John, as soon as all 4 linemen for Wahoo got through way too easily, you knew a screen was coming.
Yeah, they caught us too because we were blitzing. And so we had a linebacker that came through. It looked like he was coming through completely unimpeded. And the 4 guys up front, those guys are trained. If you get released, retrace your steps. But it was a good, well-executed screen.
And on 1st and 10, they hand it off to Corbin Keys, but there's a flag on the play. Keys picked up about 2 yards, but this may be coming back. A flag thrown over by the Wahoo sideline, so it could be somebody lining up in the neutral zone as well. We'll see what our official call is.
I see Coach Fox out on the field speaking to the officials. There must be somebody that
It's a legal substitution called against Wahoo.
running somebody on or off a little bit late. Looks like it could have been caught coming off the field, or either that or we had 12 guys out there. I don't know. I saw that in a previous game today. Even if you're running off the field, if you're not off that green, they're gonna flag you when the ball's snapped.
And the ball is on the hash mark opposite of Wahoo's sideline. So if they're trying to run somebody off late, they've got to run a little bit further than obviously if it was on the right side hash. So after the penalty, they'll hand it off to Keys. Nice job by the Warrior defense coming in. Yes, exactly. Caden Smart coming in, making an impact on the defensive side of things as he drops that play for basically no gain. It's going to set up 2nd down. It's 2nd and 4 with a ball at the 40. Minute 30 left to play in the first quarter. We're still scoreless.
Yeah, that front, we got a 3-man front, and Smarty is walked up on the edge, and James Gaskin's on the other edge. So it looks like a 52, but it's really a 3-man front with 4 linebackers that can move around.
Central City hands off on 2nd down, out inside of the 40 to the 38-yard line is once again Corbin Keys. We told you we'd be calling his name quite a bit today. Pretty good job there by the Warriors to bottle him up, but he picks up 2. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, big play right here, and I don't know if Central City might be in 2-down territory right here. We're about in the spot where they were last time, where they did the little quick kick punt with Keys, but I'm sure they're thinking about maybe 2-down territory.
Yeah, they've leaned on the run a little bit more on this drive. 8 seconds left on the play clock as Zickman checks over to the sidelines. We might get a late timeout here. We're going to. A timeout going to be called by Central City. Head coach Troy Hubert is going to talk things over with his ball club. It's a 3rd and 2, 36 seconds left here in the first quarter. 0-0 your score. We can step away for 30 seconds or so, and we'll be back.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's the C1 Championship Football right here on Saunders County Online, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and 99.3 FM KWAB. Wahoo Warriors taking on Central City.
And out of the timeout, big 3rd down coming up here for Central City. They'll send a man in motion. Zickman takes the snap. He will hand off to Keys right up the middle, following his center down to the 35-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. And it is. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, and they had the benefit of having 1st and 5 right there. So really they took 3 plays to get 5 yards, and they got about 6. So that's what they needed. But overall so far the defense has been playing well. We just have to limit these mistakes with the penalties so we can get ourselves back on a schedule here.
So fresh set of downs for the Bison. They will stack 2 receivers to either side of the formation. Zickman's going to throw it. His pass is tipped.
Ooh.
Is it intercepted? Yes, it
Yes.
is.
There we
Picked
go.
off at the 31-yard line.
Noah
Bordovsky with the pick, the bad hand, and everything.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a wrap on that hand, but he doesn't have a nub like some of those other guys have had this year. Just a great job. Somebody got their hands up there. Oh, and he put his hand underneath the ball to keep it from touching the turf.
Man, what a catch. We
That
get
is
the benefit
fantastic.
of watching the replay. He got that left hand under there. What a catch.
Yeah. And will they look at it? It depends on whether the Central City guy is going to call for a replay, but it looks to me like he got his hand under that ball, and that was a great play by Noah.
So the Warriors, for the moment, appear to have taken the football back. Now our referee waves his hands over his head, and I think, as you just mentioned, John, they're going to take a look at this. But from the couple of replays that we saw here in the stadium, I don't see anything that would cause me to overturn it. In fact, it looks like he caught the ball.
Overturn the call on the field. So it seems to me like it would be a call stand situation. I don't know if they do that. I saw a play in the Norfolk Catholic Newman game where a kid kind of bobbled a ball but then got a hold of it real late down here in the corner, and they actually called it confirmed, but I think this one is a legit catch. I mean, they're not showing it on the big screen in the stadium, but our monitor of the broadcast feed looks like his left hand is under the football,
under the
and
point.
the ball is in control when he catches it. It does touch the ground at one point, but he's got both hands on it when it does. So he's basically down. That's a great look right there by NET. I think that's a catch. I really do. I think they're going to keep that call.
To me, it's so close. It's what, as you said earlier, John.
It's
It's
not
what was the call on the
indistributable.
field?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think there's nothing that obviously says, that wasn't a catch, and if anything, it looks like it was a catch just from what we could tell up here in the booth.
So if it is a catch, Wahoo will get the football back, and that's twice now that their defense has been tested. Once after the block punt and fighting a short field, once after penalties and Central City driving on them. It's going to be 1st and 10 with 8 seconds left. If you're Wahoo, now we're not quite out of the first quarter yet, but John, what are you taking out of this first quarter? As you said, sort of feeling things out, getting used to the stadium, but you were here last year. Most of these guys were here last year. What do you take out of this first quarter?
I think, from a coach's standpoint, it's like, okay, we've survived the first quarter. We've screwed up so many times. We've had penalties. We've had defensive penalties, which we never have, these weird miscues. We've had these things come up, and yet we're still fine. It's still 0-0. It very easily, they could have sprung a big play or taken advantage of these mistakes we've had. We've given up a block punt, which we don't stands. Yeah. Yep. So it gives up, it gives us confidence in that, look, we're playing great defense. We're holding them in check. Keys isn't breaking out. The quarterback's not zipping around the field. We're doing well. We just have to just play football, just not screw up. Let's just do what we do, and I think we'll be fine because we've consistently moved the ball, haven't had a lot of big plays, but we're moving the ball, and that's really what we want to get back on track with.
Well, they'll try to do it now. 1st and 10, as I mentioned, 8 seconds left in the first quarter as Kaminsky lines up in the shotgun, shifts his tailback to his right. 2 of his receivers now off to his left. A little bit more pre-step motion here as they will. There's the inside hand, the double handoff actually, and a nice job. That's Caden Smart with the carry, as you mentioned earlier, John. Yeah. He's out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. So it's a pickup of 6, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. A defensive first quarter for both teams. 0-0 your score as we head to the break, and we'll be back here in about 60 seconds from Memorial Stadium in the Class C1 Football Championship.
Rivalry Apparel in Wahoo's excited to celebrate their 5th anniversary the month of October. Stop in to say hi to the Rivalry team or go to rivalryapparel.com now to get your gear for fall sports. Then be on the lookout for winter sports apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Rivalry is open Tuesdays, Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays, Fridays 10 to 5, Saturdays 9 to noon. Call 402-870-0780 for any questions. The team at Rivalry Apparel wants to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Bring home happy from the Wahoo DQ. We have a large variety of ice cream cakes for any occasion, made with vanilla and chocolate soft serve and filled with hot fudge and cake crunch. Grab-and-go cakes are available for last-minute parties, or call ahead and have one specifically designed for you. We also keep boxes of Dilly and Buster bars, which are great for keeping in your freezer, at home, and snacking on throughout the week. Stop into the Wahoo DQ today for your cake and novelty needs. The Wahoo DQ is located at 1122 North Chestnut Street in Wahoo.
Wahoo State Bank gives you the home team advantage. From the beginning of your financial experience with Penny Partners, Kids Club with Richie Rover, to student checking for those age 15 through 25, offering a variety of benefits that make banking easy when you're home or away, or if you're looking to finance the future home. Wahoo State Bank has the home team to work with you through life. Member FDIC. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium as we are bringing you the Class C1 Championship. Wahoo Warriors taking on Central City.
And we're ready to start the second quarter. It is 2nd down and 5 for Wahoo from their 36-yard line as we have flipped ends of the field. Wahoo now working with the breeze at their back. Kaminsky will take the snap, hands it off to Brigham. Kip wiggles his way forward out near the 40. He got to the 39-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 3. It's going to set up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, and a lot of motion on that play. We motioned to an overset, which means we have an extra lineman on the right side, and then we motioned our wingback away from that strength, and then ended up running back towards the strength. So there's a lot of chess being played right now with the schematics out there, and a lot of it is just looking to see how Central City is going to react from a front standpoint. Do we have some gaps we can get to?
So it's 3rd and short. They're going to line up Brigham at the quarterback and just snap it right to him. Kip's off the right side. He's got some blockers. He turns the edge. He's got the 1st down and more all the way out to the 49-yard line. He needed 1 or 2 rather, but he got 10. Really well blocked as well, and big pickup there for the Warriors.
And that's been their go-to. I mean, in short yardage, they just line up and just pound it and let Kip find those gaps because he's so good at changing direction.
Warriors on the verge of crossing over into Central City territory for the first time in the game. They'll send a man in motion here on 1st and 10. Kaminsky takes a snap. He's going to fake the handoff, rolls to his right. Pass is caught out there and down to the 40-yard line. I think was that Kristen with the catch. Yeah. Yes, it was. Really well designed, little play action to freeze the defense. Kristen with the catch, and the Warriors back-to-back 1st downs.
Yeah, and Caden with a K. Caden's been really good, has really been a weapon here as we got later in the season offensively, and he had a pick in the playoffs too, so he's really contributed. He's really stepped up his game.
On 1st and 10, as I mentioned, now in Central City territory at the 39-yard line. Kaminsky will take the snap, hands it off this time. I think that was Caden Smart that was in the backfield with him.
Yeah, that's the diamond set. They got all 3 back there, and I think that was Noah Bodorski toting the ball right there. 22. And Caden lead blocking.
Yes, you're right. There you go. Thank you very much. You are correct. The play only got a yard, so give Central City some credit for bottling that up. And that's the first time we have seen the diamond formation. It picks up a yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Ball on the right side hash mark. They will split a receiver wide out to the right. And now they'll motion a tight end to the left and a receiver in the slot to the right as well. Kaminsky with the snap. He'll hand it off. This is Brigham following
There we go.
blockers off the right side, inside of the 35, down to the 32, and that was just really well blocked, and it
Yep.
was a numbers game, really, and Wahoo
Yeah.
outnumbered Central City on that side.
Yeah, we lined up, and I got to figure out what they call that. It looks like two lines of guys about 5 deep, and then they just shift into their set, and they shifted into an overset, and they got a gap, and they hit that gap, and Kip just recognized where the hole was, and now we're third and very manageable.
Yeah, 3rd and 3, ball at the 32-yard line. Possibly 2-down territory here if they need it. They will fake the handoff. Kaminsky rolling to his left. He wants to go downfield into coverage. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 10-yard line by the Bison. Return is back to the 25-26. And the first mistake of the game for Jace Kaminsky. That ball is picked off by Truman Ryan. He had a man open, it looked like in the flat, John. Elected to go deep, and the pass is intercepted.
Yeah, he really did. He really took a shot right there, and the corner made a nice play on it. The underneath guy is who I thought he was going to go to, but they had good coverage there, and he just jumped up and high-pointed it right in front of Landon. So good play by the Bison. That puts him, and they, he returned it out to about the 25 or so. So good play by them, and kind of a miscue schematically from us, from Jace, which is pretty unlike him to do that.
So now from the 26, the Bison will take over. First play is a quick pass out here to the near side, caught by Wyatt Dent.
Yeah.
He's got it out across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and he's one of their three-headed monster. He's their leading receiver. He's got a 1,000-yard guy, and between him and Hankey, that's where the bulk of the passing goes to. But a productive short pass right there.
So he picks up 8, sets up 2nd down and 2. Ball at the 34-yard line. Almost got the Warriors to jump into the neutral zone there on a hard count, but
a lot of check with me right now. They're waiting to see what we do, and then they're changing the play call on the sideline.
3 seconds left to get the snap off, and they will just barely get it off before the clock hits 0, and it's a slant pass caught by Dent, bounces off of one tackler, and then he's down at the 42, 43-yard line. Flag comes in, and it's in the neighborhood of where the tackle was, or rather the first hit was made. This could be potentially a targeting call here, John.
It doesn't look like a face mask. It was right on the impact. They called it, and they're probably going to call him for a shot to the helmet or whatever. I don't know that targeting doesn't – it's not quite the same in college where you get kicked out of the game, but it's – I don't even think that's targeting. He hit him with his shoulder.
That's hard because you're right. He did hit him with his shoulder, but the receiver dropped his head way down into the hit. That's an unfortunate break there for Wahoo.
Yep, and there's not much you can do about it. It's not like they can go on the screen and review it and say it wasn't targeting or whatever, but they're a lot more sensitive about that stuff these days, especially with the college and even the pros doing it now. So it's going to trickle down to high school.
So when you tack on the 15 yards, it moves the ball into Wahoo territory inside of the 45 down to the 42. It'll be 1st down and 10 with 8:40 left to play in the first half. 0-0 your score. The Warriors defense once again being tested as Central City works inside of Wahoo territory. They'll send 3 receivers to the left, 1 man to the right. Now they'll motion 1 man from left to right. Snap back in the shotgun, and pass is intercepted. Tipped by Brigham, and then he bounced it off of another Wahoo player and caught it again. So great hands by Kip Brigham. It's picked off at the 15-yard line. So 1 interception on one end, gets 1 back here on the other side.
Wow. Brigham tipped it, bounced off another guy, and right back to himself. So now we've kind of flipped the field, really. It's a strange game. Everybody is making these miscues and throwing into coverages, but nobody is really making a big offensive stand yet. So we'll see if we can. We got 85 yards to go. Let's see if we can churn out a drive here.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. Warriors defense comes up with another stop. They'll hand off to Brigham, makes a couple men miss out across the 15 to the 17-yard line. So that'll be a gain of about 2. So far, Kip hasn't been able to bust that big run. You got to give a lot of credit to the Bison defense for bottling him up.
Yeah, we've had numerous times this year where it's just a one-play drive. Kip just explodes and outruns everybody. and those holes just haven't quite been there. They're doing a good job pursuing and making sure that he's got through the first level several times. It's just making a play on the second level. They've been a really good defensive team so far.
Diamond formation here on second down. They will hand it off out there trying to get the edge and just not quite getting there is Caden Smart. He had one man to beat, and he would have been able to turn that into probably a 10-yard gain, but instead it's no gain or maybe even a loss of 1.
Yeah, they strung it out well right there out of that diamond set, and he had blockers out in front of him too, but good job by the Bison.
The speed from the Central City defense so far, a couple of times we thought the Wahoo players would get the edge on a jet sweep or a play like that, and Central City has been able to string it out. So they've looked pretty up to the task. It's going to be 3rd down and 9. They'll put the ball at the 16 over on the right side hash. 2 receivers on the right side of the formation for Wahoo. Jace takes the snap, rolls to his left. He's pressured, fakes once, pulls it down. Now he shovels it into the hands of Brigham. Kips out near the 20-yard line. Not going to be enough for a first down, but they avoided, I think, potentially a 10-yard loss with a sack and got it out to the 19, and it'll be just enough room for them to get off a punt.
Yeah, that play got ugly quick because Jace was scrambling, thinking he'd find somebody open downfield, and they did a good job of keeping our receivers bottled up. Otherwise, Jace would find somebody if they were open, and he did the little Brett Favre shovel to Kip, which kind of saved the day, got us back to a manageable situation.
Now, Caden Christen out there to punt, standing at his 5. The wind is at his back here. He's had one blocked already. This is a much better punt. Going to be caught at the 40-yard line. Good coverage there by Brigham as the ball was caught by Luke McHargue, I believe is who that was, number 12. But Brigham was right on top of him with the catch. Or with the tackle, rather, excuse me. And with 6:04 left to play in the half, Central City will get the ball back near midfield, but they are on their side of the 50. They'll spot it at the 40.
Yeah, that was a great job to flip the field. And so, if you're Central City, you're still thinking, all right, what can we do to crack this defense? So far we've been basically our own worst enemy as far as penalties and miscues and stuff. But those guys are big play capable really quickly, so we just got to keep holding and let our offense hopefully get their foothold in there, because so far it's been kind of a survive and advance thing. It's been a pretty ugly game so far for both sides.
1st and 10 coming here for the Bison. They will once again have Zickman back in the shotgun. Little miscommunication, I think, at the snap of the football. He's able to dump it off to his tailback. That's Keys. Keys made the catch, ran over one Wahoo defender to get it out of the backfield. He eventually got it out to about the 43-yard line. Not a pretty-looking play. He got 3. It's going to set up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and a good play by Noah there to stop that, because anytime Keys gets out in space, you definitely want to get a hand on him and keep him going side to side, because he's capable of making big plays.
So on 2nd down and 7, the Bison will send one man in motion and a flag before the snap of the football. It's going to be a procedure penalty, I believe, called against Central City. So that'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be now 2nd down and 12 with 5:23 left in the half.
Yeah, and just a penalty-filled game right now, just ugly. If you're Central City, you're frustrated at those penalties. We've had the same thing on offense, and I don't know if – I imagine there's jitters. Those kids weren't here last year, but our kids were, so you wouldn't think they'd have those jitters, but everybody that's here is nervous. From the coaches to the fans, everybody's nervous. So we just got to get that out of the way and just play.
So on 2nd and 12, they'll try to swing it out. Pass is incomplete. That might be a fumble.
That's a backwards pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Landon Fye.
The Warriors.
House.
What a heads-up play by Landon Fye. He picks up the pass that was intended for Corbin Keys, who is the tailback. The official is saying it was a backwards pass.
Wow.
By Johnny on the spot. Picked it up at about the 35-yard line and had nothing but green in front of him. John
that was
took
crazy.
it all the way to the end zone.
It was kind of one of those plays where, he hit, and Landon was so alert to jump on that, and you always want to jump on those passes, even if they're kind of close. And it was definitely a backwards pass, but, everybody kind of froze for a second thinking, incomplete pass, and Landon just jumped on it, and right away, that's a huge play in this game because it finally breaks the the dam of just nothing happening.
Yeah, that's a great point. They showed the replay here in the stadium, and the pass was thrown at about the 33, maybe 33 and a half, and it was it bounced off the receiver. It looked like at about the 32. So, in my opinion, now they're freezing it here on the big screen. It looks like a backwards pass because it hits the back shoulder of the tailback.
It's
but
at least a lateral. Yeah, it's at least a lateral because, when you watch that they have a great shot of it down the line, and hopefully everybody at home is seeing that. Yeah, there it is. And it's just straight down the line, if anything, a little bit back. And a great effort by Landon right there. But, I'm not sure if coaches are allowed. I don't think coaches in this game are allowed to call for challenges. I think the officials have to always signal.
Right.
And nobody's buzzing in from the Big Ten office or New York to tell them we need to look at that. I think it's just a gut feel on the field. And it's a close play, and in a game that means as much as this, if you're an official, you're like, you know what, let's make sure it was a backwards pass or a lateral. And once again, they have a call they made on the field, so it's tougher to prove.
Right.
It's got to be indisputable that it wasn't a backwards pass at this point. So hopefully they look at it and they say stands are confirmed.
Yeah, but it's a really good point that you made too, John, that both offenses have been finding success hard to come by. Give a lot of credit to the defense, and maybe just this defensive scoop and score is what it would end up being for Landon, is something that'll break the dam and just sort of get everybody, at least in blue here for the Wahoo fans, get everybody settled down and into their rhythm.
That's so close, but it looks like
it's about a half yard.
Yeah, thrown from the 33 to the 32, so it was backwards.
It's about a good half yard. Back. So close, though. And from every vantage point in the stadium, unless you're up here in the sky like we are or watching on TV, it's really hard to tell. Stands.
Yeah, same thing. Ruling on the field stands. Exactly the same as the last review. A lot of credit to Landon Fye, and you mentioned it, John.
Keep playing.
Several players, anybody would maybe just pick that up and stand there, but you play to the whistle, and hey, you never know what can happen. So
or dive on it. Yeah. In that situation, and though I know from coaching with these guys that they do turnover drills all the time. They do it every week. They have a day where they do turnover drills, and one of them is scoop and score. And that's a situation where if you got a lot of grass in front of you and there's not a lot of opposing color around you, and you feel like you can comfortably pick it up and run, you do it. If it's in traffic, you fall on it and cradle. That was always my station. You fall on it and cradle, and you make sure you gain possession. But in that situation, Landon, just being an athlete, no one's around him. He picks it up, he sees green, and he just runs.
So now it's 6-0. We're waiting for
media to come back.
Yeah, exactly. We're waiting for the green light to go ahead and let the Warriors try and execute this extra point as Emilio Zaragoza is out there on the field. It looks like he's been given the okay. The official signals are ready for play. So Wahoo trying to make it a 7-point lead. It's a good snap. And the kick is up, and it is
there we go.
Through. So with 5:02 left to play in the first half, Wahoo draws first blood. They do it on the defensive side of things thanks to a 32-yard scoop and score from Landon Fye. And they will enjoy a 7-point lead here for the moment. We can take a 30-second break if you'd like, Kelly, for our sponsors, and we'll be back.
Want to say thank you to sponsors like JEO. JEO got started right here in Wahoo back in 1937. Since then, the company has grown to nearly 400 people working in communities across the Midwest. From infrastructure improvements to community development, the JEO team is passionate about helping communities thrive. JEO is proud to support its hometown team and the community it calls home for nearly 90 years. And Sand Creek Construction Company, part of JEO family of companies, is a proud supporter of the Wahoo High School Athletic Booster Club. Based in Wahoo, Sand Creek Construction works on a diverse range of projects, including residential development, commercial buildings, and sports and recreation facilities. As Wahoo's hometown construction management and design build firm, they take pride in constructing facilities like Hackberry Park that make a lasting impact. Thank you to sponsors like JEO and Sand Creek Construction Company for being a great support of Wahoo Athletics.
And we're back and ready for the kickoff here. Zaragoza has it teed up. Keys and Dent await the kick at the 10-yard line. This one is pulled over toward the left and out of bounds. So Perhaps a bit of a miscue there, John. Certainly they weren't trying to kick it out of bounds. They were trying to obviously keep it away from Corbin Keys.
Yeah, and Emilio has not been kicking them deep a lot at this part of the season. He's been doing a lot of squib kicking, a lot of kicking it on the ground type plays. But that's our emphasis is to try to get it down there on those numbers, between the hash and the numbers. He just kind of shanked it a little bit. Emilio's keeping up a family tradition. His brother kicked for us in 2019, and he kicked a field goal on that north end right there. And there's a little bit of a situation with kicking because the uprights are skinnier in college than they are in high school. And we purposely did not tell his brother Jesus that the uprights are a little narrower. We let him just kick, and he was just fine. And Emilio's been great all year. I'm sure no one talked to him about the width of the uprights, but he did good on that extra point right there. And I think he'll settle in, and he'll be fine too.
Now let's see if the Warriors defense can continue their dominant play here with 5 minutes left in the first half. Handoff straight up the middle by Zickman out to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 2. That's Keys with the carry again. Sets up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and just a lot of banging right there inside. Just, Central City trying to establish their running game. They've obviously got a really good back and, a good offensive line, and they're trying to get themselves on schedule for what they do. And, of course, they're doing a lot of check with me and waiting to see what the defense is giving them before they make their final call.
From the 37-yard line, ball at the right side hash. Zickman takes the snap. He will hand it off straight up the middle again. His Keys out to the 40, maybe got the 41-yard line. He'll pick up about 4, and it's going to set up 3rd down. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, so a big 3rd down early in this game, and Wahoo's got a challenge here. Can we keep them off schedule? Can we get the ball back and try to maybe set up a drive before halftime?
And with 3:50 left, that was a little bit odd as Zickman was looking back at the official. I thought maybe he was going to call a timeout there. Plenty of time left on the play clock, or at least there was at the moment.
Yeah, they're kind of changing their play up because we shifted our defense.
They're going to try a toss to Keys, see if they can't get him to the edge, and that's not going to happen. Nicely done. Tackle made out there by Smart, and didn't see who the other Warrior was out there, but nice job by Wahoo again, stringing that play out. And now, unfortunately, we have an injured Bison on the turf. That is in the neighborhood of the tackle, so that may be Corbin Keys, which is...
Yeah, it looked like he twisted really bad when he came down.
That's not good. And on that last play, it was kind of a chess match there. Coach Iverson had the defense line up one way and stem and shift to a different front, and that's where some of that confusion happened. Zickman turned and looked like he was looking back to maybe his offensive guy. I thought I agree. I thought he was trying to call a timeout, but there was some miscommunication there, and then the back shifted to the other side. And that's probably going to happen a lot today. Coach Iverson likes to move his line around. He doesn't like to line up in one thing and stay stagnant and predictable. He likes to always be different. And that's one of the reasons our defense has been so tough all the years. You can say we line up in a 30 front, but at any given moment you may look out there and it looks like a 50. It looks like a 44. It looks like the guards are covered, and then the guards aren't covered. We got the center covered, or there's a shade. He has a way to shift and blitz just the defensive lineman or just a linebacker or a combination of all, or slants and pinches and all those sorts of things that every team likes to do, but it's really disruptive when you have some playmakers up front, and it gets the offense. If you're a guard, you don't know. You think, okay, I'm covered, now I'm not covered. And then in 1 second, all of a sudden, now I am covered. Who do I block? And then that confusion causes, a TFL or a big play, if the defensive lineman gets through there unblocked. Yeah,
it takes a lot of discipline though from your players though, right? They've got it. They have to know their responsibility on every play, and if an audible is made or a different twist on the defense is made, you've got to be where you're supposed to be. So certainly credit to the defensive coaching staff, but also the players out there as well, because it takes a lot of focus and discipline to be able to do that. They're still tending, by the way, to...
It doesn't look good for the injured player there. I don't know if it looked like he kind of got twisted funny on the tackle or came down in an awkward way, and you hate to see somebody get hurt in this game. I watched my hometown play Riverside here yesterday, and their starting running back and their starting quarterback got hurt early in that game, and that was really a tough go for them, and it doesn't look like he's putting much weight on that leg.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it when he came across, he got sandwiched in between, or his leg got separated in between two Wahoo players. And it just, so then when he came down down awkwardly. So
Yeah, it is Corbin Keys, unfortunately, for Central City. Their talented tailback. He's being helped off the field with an arm around an individual on each side, and he's, as John said, not putting much weight at all on that left leg. They'll get him over here to the sideline and get it looked after, and certainly we hope that he can make it back into this game, because you're right, John. You never want to see anybody get injured, but if you're playing in this game, you want to win against their best, right? So
right, you want their guys against our guys, and you hate to see. And this is an all-state type athlete, and he's had a few rushes today, so he was 1,998 yards coming into this game, and that's a pretty prolific playmaker.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was
almost a great
nearly
catch.
disastrous.
yeah,
Landon nearly tipped it to himself, but at the same time, if the receiver would have caught it, it would have been a touchdown, because he tipped it right up to the receiver. But that's actually a fourth down play.
that was a fourth down play. So
Oh wow,
turnover.
Yeah, and all the sort of we got caught up in talking about the injured player was 4th and 3, and Central City elected to throw for it. They're near midfield. They're actually at their own 43-yard line. The pass was incomplete, almost caught, as John said. So now Wahoo has the football back. 3:17 left to play in the half. They lead it 7-0, and they'll start in plus territory here.
and how close is? I mean, this they talk about a game of inches and all that. Oh great, what do we
might
got
have
here?
a fumble on the first play. It looked like they've got Noah Bordowski in the backfield, and
They did fumble.
He did
Wow.
fumble the football. So first play, he carries it right up the middle, got about 5 yards, and then fumbled the football. And I don't know if this had anything to do maybe with let's see the replay here, if he was down or not. They're just trying to rip it out. You can see, and we
Oh, yeah.
that's definitely out before he's on the turf.
Yep.
So an unfortunate break there for Noah, as he'd picked up positive yardage and he was fighting for more, and the ball got ripped out.
A lot of times that's when those balls come out, is when you're fighting for that extra little bit and you're pushing and you're not down yet, and you're thinking on the sideline, blow the whistle, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. But a big play by the defense there.
So now Central City has it back. They'll go right to work, and Zickman's going to roll out on the first play. Pass is incomplete.
Wow.
Threw into double coverage. Ball was knocked up in the air for a moment. It ultimately fell harmlessly on the turf, but that could have been an opportunity for Wahoo to get another turnover.
Yeah, could have been another pick right there. And I was about to say, before we fumbled the ball in the first play of offense, that a game of inches, how close is it to where that kid could have scored right down the Wahoo sideline right there, and we'd be 7-7 right now. But then as I was formulating that thought, we fumbled it right back to him. So here we go.
2nd down and 10 for Central City from the 39-yard line. Ball on the left side hash mark. They'll send 3 receivers out to the right side, 1 man wide to the left. Trying to get a read on the number, the new tailback in the game who is replacing Keys for the moment, and a flag thrown.
Delay.
This is going to be a delay of game. They've been close a couple times here in this first half, and that time it finally bit them. That'll back them up 5 yards.
Looks like it's number 3, Jacob Brazy, a junior, is the guy they got in the backfield now. So
Listed as a 5'8", 150-pound junior out there trying to replace Corbin Keys, who is over at the training table still being looked at. They'll back him up 5 yards. It's now 2nd and 15. Ball's at the 34-yard line. Zickman takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Brazy, who takes it right up the middle out near the 39-yard line. So he gets basically the 5 back that they lost with the delay game penalty. And that will set up 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 10. Under 3 minutes, now at about 2:35 left to play here in our first half. Both teams, actually, Central City did call 1 timeout, so they've got 2 left. Wahoo has all 3. See if they elect to use it here.
And I see he's got about 166 yards on the season, and they have a different guy in there now. It looks like number 14, which would be Colby Schneider, another junior.
On 3rd down, Zickman back to pass, throws it deep over the middle. It is
He caught it.
intercepted.
Sam
Markson
nice.
playing a little center field back there at about the 34-yard line, sort of roamed his way over, jumped up, high-pointed the football, and made the interception. So Wahoo has got the football back. Their defense comes up with another turnover. 2:06 left in the half.
Unbelievable play by Sam right there. But once again, they're taking shots downfield, and our back half has really risen to the occasion where it looks like there's always at least one or two jerseys around those balls. So great job by Sam just elevating and jumping over the pile because the corner who was there was defending pretty well, and Sam came in and just made the play.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. They will
Here we go, Caden.
run the double handoff. Yeah, exactly. Caden Smart out to the 41-yard line, so he'll pick up 7. And Wahoo, as I mentioned, all 3 timeouts. It's a little bit of a 2-minute drill here now.
Yeah.
Minute 50 left to play in the first half. Wahoo leads at 7-0. They would love to tack on a few more points and head into the locker room.
Yeah, that was a really well-executed play. Caden stumbled right there. Otherwise, he would have had a first down run right there. But so far, so good.
2nd and 3. They will hand it off to Brigham. Kip is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. He might have got 1 yard. Trying the left side here this time. So far, hasn't been a lot of running room for the Warriors' standout tailback. It's going to set up 3rd down. He must have got a yard because they're saying it's 3rd and 1. The ball now moved basically right in between the hash marks. Warriors will split 2 wide receivers out wide to each boundary, and Brigham's going to line up as the quarterback. He will take the snap, and he's got room to the right
There we
side.
go.
Kip needs one
There we go,
block.
Kip.
He's to the 50.
Go,
he's
baby.
to the 40, to the 30-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 27. It was well blocked. The Bison got themselves, really, John, too far inside.
Yeah.
Kip had
Yeah.
one man to beat, and he did, and he raced all the way down. Huge gain there, and the Warriors, with 57 seconds left, are in business.
Yeah, and a great job. I mean, a lot of times during the game, that would have been a 3-yard game. You just put your shoulder down, you get the first down, you stay on schedule. But Kip, just being the playmaker, bounced it and was able to stop the clock by getting out of bounds. Great job.
1st and 10 from the 27. Kaminsky back to pass. He's
Nope.
flushed from the pocket, looking down the field. Pass is caught at the 10, and inside of the 10 to the 5. That's Caden Christen with the catch.
Wow.
And it's going to be 1st and goal for Wahoo.
That was some toe drag swag right there. He jumped on the sideline, put his toes down. The receiver, or the defender went over him, and he just turned around and kept going. A great balance by Caden on the sideline there. Got nervous watching that throw, but it's right there on the sideline. It's either out of bounds or it's a completion, and he elevated and did a fantastic job. And if it wasn't for number 14, Schneider right there making the play, he scores on that. But we're out of bounds at the 4. Is that right?
5 yard line.
5 yard line.
5, yep, and I actually think Wahoo called the timeout
Yep.
here, so they may have tackled him inbounds, so the
Oh,
Warriors
yeah.
called the timeout
Yep.
to stop the clock. But 48 seconds left and 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
I have to imagine we've seen some success with, I'll call it the heavy formation
Yeah.
with Kip at the shotgun. Usually that's a 2-yard play,
Right.
two yards
Yep.
and in, but certainly wouldn't surprise me to see them come out and try and run that from the
Right.
5 and just follow your big guys.
Yeah, with 2 timeouts, you can really do what you want to do, and I think leaning on it and just trusting those guys up front and trusting Kip with the ball is the way to go here. But we'll see what we got out of Coach Fox. He may have called 2 plays in the huddle, but like I said, he's got 2 timeouts. What in the world is this? We've got
5 guys.
we got
6
5 guys in a line. It's definitely not an empty set. It's the opposite of empty. It's very full.
They motion out of it, though, and Kaminsky will
Oh, there we
also
go.
motion out. And just what we talked about, Brigham's going to take the snap. He follows his right tackle,
Ooh,
right
yes.
guard, slips a couple of tackles, and he is into the end zone.
Great run by Kip right there. Just it looked like he was down at the 2, but he put his hand down on the carpet and maintained his balance and shot out the backside. Great strength and balance from Kip.
Yeah, it was blocked nicely up front. He got to the second level, and we're going to get a replay here. You're going to get to see if you happen to be watching this at home. As John said, he put his hand down, stayed on his feet,
wow.
and got into the
That
end
was
zone.
fantastic. Did he even put his hand down? That's impressive. He was low.
Extra point attempt by
There we go.
Zaragoza is up and good. 42 seconds left in the half. Wahoo takes advantage of the interception and marches it down the field and scores. Kip Brigham with a long run to get it inside of the 30. Nice pass from Kaminsky to Caden Christen to get it inside of the 5, and the Warriors put it in from there. 42 seconds left in the half. It's 14-0. We can take a very quick break, and we'll be back.
Again, we want to say thank you to the sponsors who've been a part of the Wahoo Warrior Athletics Booster Club: Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, JEO Consulting, Sand Creek Construction, Inspro, Simon's Home Store, Retire Path, Rivalry, Scooters Coffee, Doan Tigers, Titles Bar and Lounge, Union Bank and Trust, Vermaline Excavating, Wahoo State Bank, Wahoops, Dairy Queen, First Bank of Nebraska, Wahoo, and thank you for all of the staff of the schools for the work that they do. Plus, again, all the parents and families bringing the athletes and students to a great school like Wahoo. It's a great day to be a Warrior.
That's absolutely right.
Yes, it is.
We're ready for the kickoff here. Zaragoza has it teed up, and the returners for Central City are back at the 10-yard line. Absolutely nicely squibbed to the right side, hit it into a little bit of space, picked up by the Bison, now just trying to get it back out to the 20, and I think they'll probably get it. That was, I believe that's Wyatt Dent. Tough to tell from all the way up here who the ball carrier was. No, 18, excuse me. That would be Truman Ryan with the heads-up play to go grab that ball and just try to get it back upfield. They're going to mark him down at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Central City. 24 seconds left in the half for the Warriors. Got to keep it locked in for 24 seconds and take a shutout and a 14-point lead into halftime.
It looked like wrestling season started early. Connor Erickson from Central City and Caden Smart were tussling at the 40-yard line, trying to get a block and get off a block, and sometimes two guys just get to battle and it just turns into a wrestling match. But it looks like Central City's content on going to the locker room and talking it over.
They'll take a knee and run out the last 20 or so seconds. As John said, both teams now trotted off to their respective locker rooms, and Wahoo will lead it 14-0 as we head into our halftime break. Be likely an extended halftime break here. They'll put 15 minutes, I guess, on the clock here, but we will step away for just a little while, and we'll be back with a second half action. Wahoo up 14-0 in the Class C1 state championship here from Memorial Stadium.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska. Serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Rivalry Apparel in Wahoo's excited to celebrate their 5th anniversary the month of October. Stop in to say hi to the Rivalry team or go to rivalryapparel.com now to get your gear for fall sports. Then be on the lookout for winter sports apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Rivalry is open Tuesdays, Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays, Fridays 10 to 5, Saturdays 9 to noon. Call 402-870-0780 for any questions. The team at Rivalry Apparel wants to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Wahoo State Bank gives you the home team advantage. From the beginning of your financial experience with Penny Partners, Kids Club with Richie Rover, to student checking for those age 15 through 25, offering a variety of benefits that make banking easy when you're home or away, or if you're looking to finance the future home. Wahoo State Bank has the home team to work with you through life. Member FDIC.
Bring home happy from the Wahoo DQ. We have a large variety of ice cream cakes for any occasion, made with vanilla and chocolate soft serve and filled with hot fudge and cake crunch. Grab-and-go cakes are available for last-minute parties, or call ahead and have one specifically designed for you. We also keep boxes of Dilly and Buster bars, which are great for keeping in your freezer, at home, and snacking on throughout the week. Stop into the Wahoo DQ today for your cake and novelty needs. The Wahoo DQ is located at 1122 North Chestnut Street in Wahoo.
Welcome back to Memorial Field. It is, 5.5 minutes left of halftime, and the Warriors ahead 14-0 over Central City. It is Class C1 championship football right here on Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, Saunders County Online, and 99.3 FM KWAB LP FM.
Yeah, it was a slow start to the half for both Wahoo and Central City offensively, and Wahoo got the scoring started. Actually, it was Landon Fye that got the scoring started with a fumble return for a touchdown that put the Warriors up 7-0 later in the second quarter, and then they added one more thanks to a 5-yard touchdown run from Kip Brigham to make it 14-0. The Warriors' defense has been stellar so far, making life very difficult for Central City. Maybe clean up a few mistakes here on the offensive side of the ball, and Wahoo will be in business. But John Herrera, why don't you walk us through some of the stats, at least what jumps out to you from the first half?
Yeah, to me what jumps out, and it's really unfortunate, it was the injury to Corbin Keys that it appears to be hurt. Not sure if he's going to come back in the second half. He has 4 carries for 2 yards, which officially puts him at 2,000 yards on the money for the season. So he's a very prolific player, but we have been able to hold him to essentially no significant rushing yards, and really for the team, 4 yards of rushing. And if you can hold a team to 4 yards rushing, that's awesome. Jace is 4 for 5, 29 yards, and that one pick, which was unfortunate. It wasn't a great throwing decision, but other than that, Kip has been doing well. He's got 39 yards. He's not averaging 13.5 yards a touch like he was before, but he got himself a little bit of yardage in the first half. And so far, overall, the yardage totals are not gaudy. 76 yards for Wahoo, 29 for Central City.
I think
it appears our stats are not updated. So
I just noticed when they had Kip for 39 yards, I'm like, he had all of that on one play, and he's got a touchdown. So
our live stats are not quite live yet. So I apologize for that. But it looks like yardage-wise, we're doing a good job holding down the Central City rushing attack. They haven't really had any big runs, and that's been just like us. It's been kind of their MO this year. They've made big plays. They've had a power rushing attack with Keys. And their quarterback has slung it around. And it seems like so far they have had some short passes, some decent throws that are short, but nothing big. They've thrown it up several times, and we've done a good job of getting around the ball. Had a couple of picks. I believe we're down for 2 interceptions right in the first half. And just the idea we're keeping this high-powered offense in front of us. We're kind of keeping things under control. And our live stats as of 6:04 left in the second show that they have 29 total yards, which is probably ballparkish correct, but we should probably have a few more yards since Kip's big run there. But so far, it's. I think the thing that's jumped out to me is they've done a pretty good job of defending us. We've been prolific, explosive, unstoppable, all that good stuff, and they've really done a pretty good job of keeping us under wraps. Now, we finally broke a play right there to end the half, which was huge because a 7-0 lead is way different than a 14-0 lead. You have some cushion now. The guys are maybe settled down a little bit, and based on that big play where we got that second touchdown and the extra point, everything's clean. Those penalties early, we can just put those in the past and just play forward. And a lot of times you say, hey, it's 0-0. Let's just start fresh and see what the second half brings us. But since it's really not 0-0, it's 14-0. So we have a cushion. If you're Central City, you're saying, all right, let's come out. They're dealing with some adversity with the injury to Kai's there, but they've got plenty of playmakers on that team, and so they're saying, you know what, it's a 2-touchdown game. We've had close games this season. Let's tough it out, and let's continue to do what we do. They're a well-coached team. They're a disciplined team. They're not going to just fold up shop and just say, all right, it was nice to be here. They're going to come out, and for the next 24 minutes of football, they're going to give everything they got because it's a program that's really on the rise. And for those guys, there's a lot of juniors on that field, juniors and sophomores. So they're an up-and-coming team as far as at this type of level. We've been fortunate enough to be here. This is our third time in the last 5 years. So our program, these kids, these kids were all student managers last time we were here. In fact, I shot something out on Instagram that showed pictures of all their little middle school faces in the picture of our championship team. And so they've been here and they've seen this and they've been around it. And it's funny, all those kids are teachers and coaches' kids and kids that have been around the program pretty much their whole life. And they've looked up to, people like Gunnar Vunick, Callan Phillips, and all those guys, Trev Lubin, that played here for Nebraska. I mean, all those guys that played for us that won that championship in such a dominating fashion. A lot of these kids were just looking up and soaking that in, and then in middle school they followed that lead and they were really good. And so they've just really kind of jumped on that bandwagon, and that success, that program just starts feeding itself and that momentum, and that's where we're at right now. I mean, and to get that second score, that was huge because, like I say, a 7-0 score is way different than a 14-0 score.
Well, especially when you get the ball coming out of halftime, right? If you remember.
Yeah. Yeah,
Actually,
they deferred.
Yeah, they.
Pardon
me. Wahoo has to kick off. So
they're going to kick off. Yeah.
What I meant to say was leading 7-0 feels way different if you have to kick off. Now
Yes.
a 14-point lead is you feel a little bit better now that you have to kick off. And one thing you talked about, and I don't want to bring this back to the Wahoo basketball program, but you talked about the young kids watching a program be successful. It happened and still happening in the Wahoo basketball program, and now on the football side, you had the championship in 2019. You had all the run all the way to the championship game, but runner up last year, and you just continue to build on that, right? These student managers see that, and that becomes the expectation. And that's really kind of what's happening here. The talent is there, talent develops itself, and then now that becomes the standard, right?
Yeah, we had, if you can look back at some things that were going on about 10 to 15 years ago where the youth football in Wahoo really took off, the tackle football, and we had a team called the Beef, and that was a youth team, and my son was a part of that. And the kids that won the championship in 19, a lot of them were Beef players. And then they added another team, the Rhinos, and that has kind of been predominantly where these kids have come from. And you go way back in time to when, like my son, who's now a junior in college, was a fifth grader. I mean, we're talking way back, guys like Jake Kruzichka, Luke Partridge, and those guys, Jack Sutton and Sam Coulterman, and those guys that were little kids. And those little kids grew up and they played really good football and they had a lot of success at the youth levels. And then they started getting, and that's where in 2017 we went to the semifinals, lost to a Norfolk Catholic team that won it all. 2018 with Jack and Sam and all these really good players, Trev Lubin, we made it to the semifinals against that high-powered Aurora team that was just unbelievable with Baylor Shireman. And we came just so close because we lost to the state champion 2 years in a row in the semis, and then that third year we broke through and just had that amazing year where we won everything. And all that was that foundation of youth sports and youth. And there's so many of these kids that are multi-sport guys. I mean, there's a ton of people out here that won a state championship in Legion baseball a year or two ago,
right,
and went to the finals in Junior Legion and Senior Legion at different levels. So they're used to winning, and they won it in basketball last year, these same kids down here. So they're used to performing at a high level, and all that starts from a young age, parental support. Like I say, a lot of them are coaches' kids, teachers' kids, and they're just around the sports and around that winning program. So it really builds upon itself.
Yeah, and when winning becomes the expectation, winning becomes the standard. That's sort of where that's the world that Wahoo lives in now. As Kelly said earlier, it's a great day to be a Warrior. It's always a great day. They've got 24 minutes to try and cap off this season with a state championship. The ball is in the air. We're underway in the second half. Brazy with a good return here for Central City out across the 30 to 31 yard line. So they elected to kick to the backup kick returner, and Jacob Brazy with a good return, and Central City will have it 1st and 10, I think, at the 32.
Yeah, it was a good return right there. They broke through that first line, and then we had to get our second set of safety-type people to bring him down.
So now, really, if you're Wahoo, John, defensively, you don't change up anything, right? It's basically go back to work what we did the whole first half, right?
Yeah, I think just knowing that their star running back is not out there can help Coach Iverson with some play calling and some coverages and such. But at the same time, you're still going to stop the run, And you got number 26 and number 13 out here at the bottom of our screen that are their main playmakers, and they go right at him.
Right on cue.
Number 13, Dent, because he's their main receiver, and that may be a situation where maybe they're going to lean on those two, the Hankey and Dent as their main playmakers are still out there, and they're more of a playmaker in the passing area. So, maybe we're going to see Parker Zickman slinging it around a little more than in the first half.
Dent had a couple of catches in the first half. He is an incomplete pass there. Actually, it wasn't his fault. Ball bounced in at his feet. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 here for Zickman. He'll send a man in motion. He's back to pass again, looking this direction. The pass is knocked down, almost intercepted. Good coverage there. They tried to go to Dent on a quick slant, and out in the coverage was that James Gaskins. Yes, it was. Yeah. He really was in a pretty good spot and may have almost had a good shot at an interception.
It looked like he had a shot to pick that, and so it looks like they're trying to find some holes in the zone and try to just move the sticks with, maybe a high percentage pass that they're used to throwing a lot of.
Now it's 3 receivers to the right side of the formation, tight end in the game, and a wide receiver to the left. Zickman's going to roll out to his right, fires a pass. It's intercepted at the 40-yard line.
Smarty.
Picked off by Caden Smart. He's all the way back inside of the 20 to the 15. And I'm not sure that Zickman saw him. He threw it right at him. That's the 3rd interception of the ball game for the Warriors defense, and they are in the red zone.
Yeah, Smarty's not going to – he's not a real tall guy, but he's just going to settle into that hook curl, and he did the same thing to Auburn this year, and he almost got a pick 6, and he had Braylon out in front of him, and if Dent wouldn't have ran him down, he definitely would have scored.
Huge play there for the Warriors defense on the opening drive of the second half, and now the offense is going to try and tack on 7 more and capitalize on that. Brigham's in the backfield next to Kaminsky. Ball on the left side, hash mark. They'll motion a man and hand off up the middle. Brigham with a little bit of space is inside of the 10, still driving his feet all the way down to the 6-yard line. That was really well blocked, John, from our vantage point. We had a great view of that in a very big hole up the middle, and Kip took advantage.
Flashbacks to Cole Bodorski running down that same sideline to that same pylon. Back in 19, he picked off Pierce's quarterback and went right down the sideline and went about 90 yards but got tackled in about the same spot, and we scored one play later. And Kip, it looks like we're close, and if we could punch this in, that's a huge turn in this game.
6-yard line, it's 2nd and 2. Kaminsky picks up the low snap. He'll hand off to Brigham. Kip's going to try and bounce it outside. Gets away from one man, headed to the pylon. He is into the end zone. A 6-yard touchdown run for Kip Brigham. Really, that was all speed. We talked about, John, in the first half how the Warriors are having trouble getting to the edges. Central City was not allowing it. That time, Kip got around one man and sprinted to the pylon.
Yeah, that's just making a play. He's been doing that all year, and if you don't get him down and he gets a step to the outside, he's track fast, and he's just going to do what he does. He's got some shake and bake, like the guy from Fort Calhoun liked to say, and he is a playmaker.
Zaragoza's extra point is no good. Pulled it to the left. Less than 2 minutes gone here in this second half. The Warriors already have an interception and a touchdown. They lead it 20-0. 10:48 still left to play in the third. We'll step away, and we'll be back with more C1 State Championship football.
Let's say thank you very much to all the sponsors who are part of Wahoo Athletics Booster Club, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, JEO Consulting, Sand Creek Construction, Inspro, Simon's Home Store, Retire Path, Rivalry, Scooters Coffee, Doan Tigers, Titles Bar and Lounge, Union Bank and Trust, Vermaline Excavating, Wahoo State Bank, Wahoops, Dairy Queen, First Bank of Nebraska, Wahoo. And thank you again for being a part of our broadcast right here on Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, Saunders County Online YouTube, and 99.3 FM KWAB, Wahoo's very own radio station.
Going to be a bit of an extended timeout here as I think they took a commercial break on the television broadcast. But, John, you really couldn't have asked for a much better start to the second half. A couple of incompletions for Central City and then the interception. And returned inside of the red zone. A couple of plays later, and the Warriors add on to their lead. I'm guessing in the halftime locker room, if you were drawing up a perfect start to the second half, it would have been pretty close to that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, and it really looks like the MO for Central City now is going to lean on that big arm of Parker Zickman and his playmakers on the edge and try to find some holes in the Wahoo defense. And the zone is just – Caden has made a living on that this year. Like I say, he's not 6'6", so when he goes out there and drops into that hook curl area, he doesn't jump out. But if he sees, he just jumped underneath that route, and he's enough of a playmaker. He'll take it the other way, and he almost did there, one guy away. But everything is kind of rolling the way we want it to roll, I guess.
Zaragoza will kick it away. It's handled by Brazy all the way back at the goal line this time. He's going to try and switch sides of the field all the way out to the 15,
ball.
And the ball's on the ground, and so is a flag.
And a flag, wow.
Looks like the Bison got back on top of it at the 20, but the flag is thrown back near the 15 to 14-yard line. We'll see what the call is here. Could be in the neighborhood of a hold on one of the blockers for Brazy.
Yeah, they dodged a real bad situation. If they would have given the ball up on that play, that would have given us, a 20-yard drive to score. And this is, I think, every defensive stand is huge, but if we can stop them on this drive and get back to work on offense, the mentality and the thoughts in the heads of those other players from Central City will start to be like, man, this just isn't us today. It's just not our day. And that's, advantage Warriors, of course, but you definitely want to keep your foot on the gas right now. A three touchdown lead minus an extra point is still a nice lead, but there's no rest for the weary here. We got to keep pounding and keep pounding the rock and make sure. Oh, geez, another one.
Yeah, the call was a block in the back. It backed Central City up inside of the 10 to the 7, and on first down they almost threw another interception as the pass was incomplete, but could have been picked off, and really, had it been intercepted, would have been a walk-in pick six for the Warriors.
Yeah, Harry jumped that thing, and it went right through his nub and his hand. I don't know if he would have caught that with the big cast on his hand, but if he would have walked in. So
it's going to be 2nd and 10. From the 7, 10:35 left in the third quarter, and Central City is going to go back to the ground. They've had four passing plays in succession here. They will hand it off, carried it out to about the 13-yard line is the backup tailback, Jacob Brazy, so he'll pick up 6, sets up 3rd and 4. And
so far so good.
Sorry, John, they're going to go quickly here. And the pass is complete. And behind the defense, out to the 40. It's a foot race. I don't think they're going to catch him. To the 30, to the 20, and into the end zone. A touchdown. That is Turner Hankey.
Yeah, he's their guy.
Yeah, we've been waiting to call his name. That'll be a, 87-yard touchdown catch from the
He's a big sophomore, the big kind of a tight end receiver type kid who a lot of times will line up at a wing or a kind of an end, and he just got out there in space, and we had a missed tackle, and we didn't have good pursuit. And he outran everybody else. He's a good athlete, and in space like that, you're not going to catch him.
Yeah, you could really see once he got past the defense, he was pulling away from the Wahoo defenders trying to catch him. Now the extra point attempt here from the Bison. Try and make this a 20-7 game. The kick is up, and it is good. So Wahoo scored quickly in the second half, and Central City has returned the favor. Less than a minute later, 10:03 left to play in the third. It's now 20-7. Bison are on the board for the first time.
Yeah, and there was definitely something wrong with the coverage there. I can see Coach Iverson and Coach Fox talking to some of the defenders. Somebody was out of position on that, because when you saw him break free of the first level, there was not a safety coming right in to pursue on that. He just outran. Basically, he broke the first tackle, and it was off to the races. There should have been another person, another body over there on that side of the formation, because there was nothing special about that play. They just threw it out to the flats, and he just took off and broke a tackle, and it was done. So this is where that lead is nice because now they scored on a big play. Now they have life again. They're feeling fired up. And you can see we're in kind of almost not really a hands team formation, but we got a lot of dudes crowded around the end on the field there because, a team like this in this situation could 100% kick a short kick and try to make a big play out of it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. So really the only two men back, and I would say a typical kick return are Brigham and 5 that are about the 10. Now Central City spreads out, so Wahoo will shift their men back. This looks like it's going to be a normal or regular kickoff here for the Bison. And it's a squib kick, but it will bounce all the way down, and 5's got it at the 15. Looking for blockers at the 20. He's got space over here. He's across the 40-yard line, slips past one man, and he's out to the near midfield. And really we saw that same thing on the opening kickoff of the game, only Wahoo had a penalty that brought it back. But another good return there by Landon.
Good return, and both guys are back there are accomplished runners. They're both playmakers. They're both track fast. They both were part of that championship relay team last year down in Omaha Burks, and so they can run. And the guys up front did a good job blocking for them and opening those lanes.
Got it out to the 48-yard line, so that's where Wahoo will start this drive. Try to keep the ball on the ground, run some clock, and put some points on the board, I think would be the ultimate success here. They're going to hand it off on first down. That's well blocked as Brigham just followed his lineman across the 50 and down to about the 46 before he's finally wrapped up. But it'd be a nice gain of about 6 and sets up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, nice push, and really given that quick score, I mean, it's really imperative now that we answer the call and we just methodically work our way down the field, and let's see if we can just make this third quarter compress into nothing and hopefully get points out of this drive.
Really probably want to try and keep that play clock down around the 5-second mark when you snap it, John. Run as much time as you can off the clock and drain this third quarter. On 2nd down and 4, Kaminsky awaits the shotgun snap. He will fake the handoff. He's going to roll out to his right. Pass is incomplete. Had a man open over there at about the 40-yard line, and it just went in and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
I think that's Fox. Yeah, Josh over there, just typically a really good, well-disciplined receiver. And, he's looking over there. He's probably getting a scowl from the old man on the sideline. Catch the ball, one of those deals. But he's been a really sure-handed guy in the second half of the season. But now we need to get a third down here.
It would have been enough for a first down, but as it stands now, it's 3rd and 4. Ball is in Central City territory at the 46-yard line. Kaminsky has a couple of backs in the backfield with him. Now he'll motion one out of there. Still Brigham back there on his left hip. He'll hand it off to him. Kip is out near the first down. He's going to be marked at the 41-yard line by the official. If that's the case, that will be enough for a first down. We may get a measurement here, but good play there, really, that you saw that hole open up again on that right side.
Yeah, that was a good job. Good job of Kip getting small. It's almost a goal line type situation. Just get to the line. If something big's there, take it. But he got small and he got low, and he just moved the chains, which is huge in this situation.
Absolutely. They do get the first down. It's 1st and 10 from the 42, 8:45 left in the third. And the Warriors being patient, get up to the line of scrimmage. 5 left on the play clock as Kaminsky takes a snap. He's going to throw it rolling to his left, fires it down the middle, has a man open, and is incomplete. Kind of let that ball hang up a little bit. His intended receiver, that might have been Fox again. Maybe it was 5, was behind the coverage. No, it was Fox. But the ball kind of hung up in the air, and that allowed the defender time to run underneath it. It's incomplete.
And the defender never did turn around, and Josh, I think, was kind of calling for maybe a flag right there, but it did not appear that I'm watching the replay here. He just kind of jumped up. That probably could have been a flag right there. You see that a lot. If the defender doesn't turn and make a play on it, you can't just face guard and kind of bulldoze the – yeah, Coach Fox is not happy about that. And I don't blame him. That should have been an interference call right there. It's a pretty standard situation.
And Kaminsky's going to be dropped in the backfield on 2nd down. He was back to pass. He's hit at the 49, 50-yard line. So a big loss on the play on 2nd and 10. It's going to set up 3rd down at about 17. But one final note on that previous play. On Saturdays and Sundays, you see that play. That's an interference almost every time.
Yep. And then we had a missed. We just had a missed block up there in the front. The protection was off, and 44 just shot the gap, and Jace didn't have any time to tuck it and run or anything. He just took the sack.
That's Connor Erickson with the sack for the Bison. So now it's third, and they'll call it 18. Ball backed up to the 50. Kaminsky will motion a man out of the backfield, and a timeout called before the Warriors could snap the football. I think it was Central City that called the timeout. Coach Hubert did not like what he saw from a matchup standpoint. And we're getting something here from our referee. I'm not sure what the call is. You can't hear it from up where we are.
I don't think there was a flag, was there?
I don't think so. I saw the official here on the Central City sideline motion for a timeout, and I think that is going to be what they finally will settle on.
They may be taking a media at the same time. I don't know. But they're a little extra time for the timeout, I guess. But, they must have saw something with their coverage because obviously we're going to take a shot and try to get a first down, which is a long pass. So you want to get the back half of your defense ready. And, the front's not a big deal in this situation. You just want to make sure if we're going to get guys split out, make sure somebody's covering each half of the field, where they're going to be in zone, man, 2, 3, whatever coverage they want to get. But they don't want to accidentally have some confusion and maybe have a dude running uncovered and in a pretty kind of crucial spot in our game overall right here. If they can get a stop, then the momentum kind of swings back their way because they feel like, okay, now we've stopped Wahoo, and now let's go continue what we built.
How much do you need to get here on third down, John, to make this a two-down situation? 3rd and 18.
Oh, geez.
10 of it?
10 to 15
okay.
of it. Definitely down around the 35, I think, inside the 40, and then Coach Fox may take a shot at it. But I think pinning, if we don't get this on this situation, flipping the field will be huge.
Here we go on 3rd and 18. 7:44 left to play in the third. Kaminsky rolling to his left. He'll fire it. Pass is caught near the 40-yard line. And I got a flag thrown on the play as Caden Christen sort of weaved his way down to the 35.
Man, that flew in from clear back. The referee, I think, threw that flag from behind. Was that a hold or a face mask?
Tough to tell. Because as it stands, it's going to be, 4th down and about 4.
Hold, yeah.
A hold or a block in the back.
I imagine they'll probably take this penalty because they don't want to give us the ball right there because we did complete it.
So you'll go from 3rd and 18, and it's going to be a spot foul, though, I believe, right? And they were blocking downfield, so they're going to mark this ball back to the 48-yard line, it looks like.
So overall, it turned out to be a gain of about 1 yard, but they're replaying the down. So really, you replay the down with the 3rd and 17 instead of 3rd and 18.
Yeah, exactly. Scoreboard says 4th and 16, but the guys on the field have it right. It is still 3rd down. Could run the same play here again, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it'll be a run-pass option for Jace. And
he's pressured as he rolls to his right, fires it downfield. It is caught.
Oh, there we go.
Behind the defense. Caden Christen is into the end zone. What a throw by Kaminsky. Good catch by Christen, but on the roll, on the run to his right, what a throw by Kaminsky. A 50-yard, just shy 48-yard touchdown pass.
And will they go for 2 to chase those points? But it looks like they're going to have Emilio go out there. It's a huge play and a great throw by Jace. One of those throws where as soon as he lets go over, you're going, ooh. Because there were white shirts around the receiver, and just he threw it to where only Caden could get that ball because number 18, Truman Ryan, had his hands right out there. And if he underthrows that, and it's blocked, it looks like the PAT.
I think we had a bobbled snap action. Never even got the PAT up off the turf.
Yep.
Unfortunate break there. So now it's 26-7.
Yeah.
Wahoo has missed on a couple of opportunities for PATs. But to finish your point there, when Kaminsky threw that pass, you could kind of
everybody
was holding their breath
for a
like,
moment.
Man, because he threw that into double coverage, but somehow it got over the hands of both defenders.
Yeah,
and was completed. Once Christen had it, he was behind everybody.
Yeah, and when you're shooting your shot, like just like watching a basketball game, and you're up by 5 points, and some kid throws up a 3 early in the possession, you're like, no, and then he makes it. You're like, okay, that was cool. But Yeah, that was if that was 6 inches behind, that kid would either picked it or got his hand on it. But he threw it pretty much to the spot where Caden was going to catch it or was going to hit the ground, which is great. And Caden is a playmaker. He catches that ball, he's going to make some hay with it, and he has really come on. Caden with a C, Caden Kristen, and he has really been a weapon here at the end of the season. He's had interceptions, he's had long pass receptions. He is really kind of turning into a main weapon in our pass offense.
We're ready to go. 7:14 left to play in the third as Wahoo has added to their lead. They're up by 19. 26-7 is the score. Zaragoza with the ball at the 40. Let's see if he kicks it away from Brazy. He does not. Kicks it toward him that again off to the left side for the Wahoo kick coverage team and out to the 20. Much less eventful on the return this time for Central City, and that's where the Bison will have it. Having scored on an 87-yard touchdown pass their last time out, we'll see how the Warriors' defense has shored things up here. Try and come out with another stop.
Absolutely, and a huge spot right here because 19 points is great. That's three touchdowns. You're going to have to score 3 touchdowns to overcome that lead. So that's a nice cushion to have, and you really want right now to set a statement. And if you're the defense, get your coverage right. Everybody needs to be lined up right, and let's make sure we don't have any more broken coverages like we had last time.
Zickman has 5 wide receivers in the formation. He's back to pass, and his pass is incomplete. Almost a great catch from his backside, made there by Wyatt Dent. His feet kind of slipped out from underneath him. He still got his hands up and almost brought that in.
Kind of a Jordan Westerkamp thing there. He very nearly caught that sitting down at the first down mark. So, I mean, he's a playmaker. That kid has a lot of catches this year, and that was nearly a highlight reel catch right there.
Yeah, we've got an injury timeout. It's a Warrior defender who is down in the backfield, back where Zickman, the quarterback, would have been. I can't see a number, but it would have been most likely one of their defensive linemen back there.
Just from we got Rachel down there, our trainer, and it looks like she's stretching out a calf or something for it looks like Braylon Iverson. Yeah,
you're exactly right. Yep.
And I heard the guys on the TV broadcast today say, don't sell short the fact that it's cold. You're going to cramp up. You're still going to cramp up. It's not like a hot day where you're dehydrated and those cramps happen a lot early in the season. You can still cramp up here on a chilly fall day. And it looks like that's what Braylon had. He's kind of cramped up pretty tight, and he's in good hands down there with Rachel. Hopefully she can get him loosened up on the sideline and get him back in action.
Yeah, he's up gingerly walking his way over to the Warriors sideline, getting a little bit of help there from Carter.
Big Carter Browitz. Carter could just pick him up and put him on his shoulder. He's a big dude, so it's good. He looks like he's walking a little better as he gets close to the sideline, but those cramps can be really
then
really
you got
tough.
Then you never know when they're going to come back, right? You're always a little bit ginger after that happens.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's going to, come at you, right in the middle of a play unexpectedly. 2nd and 10 coming up here. Zickman will fire a tunnel screen. Pass is caught out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Nathan Jacob Rule, is the recipient of that pass.
Yeah, a little kind of a jailbreak screen inside there, trying to recapture kind of what Hankey had there, where he's trying to take advantage and see if we can get a one-on-one and make a big play off a missed tackle.
It's 3rd and 5, ball at the 26-yard line. 2 receivers to either side of the formation, and in the backfield is Colby Schneider, right on the right hip of Parter Zickman. Zickman will take the shotgun snap. He's back to pass, fires it downfield. Pass is caught over there at the 45-yard line. Nice job going up. That's Jacob Rule again. Back-to-back catches for him. He high-pointed the football over the Warrior defender there, and it'll be a first down for Central City.
He's a 6'4 senior listed as an athlete free safety, and that's definitely going up and making a play as an athlete.
Absolutely. Zickman's going to tuck it and run it here on first down. He's going to get it across the 50 to the 49-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4, maybe 5, sets up 2nd down.
And it looks like we've got Alex Borchers in there playing safety, so maybe Sam Markson has got something going on as well on the sidelines. We got a couple dudes out right now on our defense. See, we got Owen States in there playing linebacker, so hopefully he can maintain and play well in Braylon's absence.
Key here for the Warriors defense is to force Central City to chew up time on the clock if they're going to march down the field. Obviously, you want to get a stop, but if you're going to allow points, don't allow a quick score. Zickman will motion a man into the backfield. He's going to hand off to him and slipping away from one man, now another one, but eventually going to get dropped in the backfield. That was Jacob Rule, who they motioned into the backfield to hand off to him. He's going to be taken down back in Central City territory at the 46-yard line. Big loss on the play. Sets up 3rd down and 10, I believe.
Yeah, a good job by Eli Shada on that defensive left side. He set that edge and made him plant and come back. And when he did, you had Emerson and Scanlon and all the other guys up front penetrating and shutting that play down, and then everybody comes in to finish. So that was a huge stop by the defense.
Big play there. Sets up 3rd down and 10. Ball back to the original line of scrimmage. Zickman takes a snap. He will fake the handoff, rolls to his right. He's going to fire it down the sideline, and it's knocked down. Pass incomplete. Well done. Noah Bordowski on the coverage over here on the sideline. Forces the incompletion, and now with 4:37 still left in the 3rd quarter, ball near midfield. It's decision time, I think, for Central City, down 26-7.
Yeah, they tried to get Noah on a wheel route there, and he did a great job of turning and making a play on the ball, keeping Ryan from catching that ball.
Yeah, it looks like the Bison are going to go for it. 3 receivers to the right, 1 man out to the left. Zickman checks with the coaching staff on the Central City sideline. And now he'll take the shotgun snap on 4th down. Back to pass, looking over the middle. It is incomplete. Intercepted.
Noah.
Bordowski's got it with blockers in front of him.
Baby.
Out to the 40. Noah into Central City territory inside of the 30 all the way down to the 21. Is that the 4th interception, I think, of the ball game?
Yeah, and another tip. Yeah, another ball up in the air, and then we go up and get that thing.
Bordowski a little slow to get up.
Yep. He might be cramping as well over there on the sideline. A couple guys are dragging him off the field quick, and they're telling him just go down and let Rachel come out and let the professionals do their job.
They drug him out to about the in between the numbers and the hash mark, and then they gently set him down, I would say.
Yeah. And Rachel's like, all right, get out of the way. Leave him there. I'll work on that calf or that ankle or whatever we got going on.
Yeah, and hopefully that is all it is. It's just a cramp. Made a great play on the ball after the tip, and he sort of adjusted his route and made the catch near the, I don't know where he was, near the 30-yard line, I think, in Wahoo territory. So be somewhere in the neighborhood of a 50, 60-yard return after that. So great job there by Bordowski to flip the field for the Warriors, and now, again, Wahoo is knocking on the doorstep, and they're in business.
Yeah, right now we're seeing cramps. We're seeing guys going down. We're seeing a lot of makeshift, a lot of defense on the fly. We got some people in there that normally aren't in there necessarily during the heat of the moment. It's more of a survive right now. Let's see if we can. And great job by our defense to tip that ball and Noah taking it back. So now, guys like Braylon on the sideline that have that cramp can kind of work that out. Sam Markson, Noah can work that out while Kip does what he does, and Jason, those guys can just kind of, let's try to get this 3rd quarter expired here. Let's try to do a 4-minute, well, it's 20 yards away. It's not going to take us 4 minutes. It might take 14 seconds, but let's just try and eat that clock up and be methodical and take control of this situation.
Yeah, you definitely would expect to see the ball on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Kaminsky will roll to his right, now shovels a pitch out there to Brigham. Kip takes it inside of the 20, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Looked like kind of an option, actually, there with Kaminsky and Brigham moving in unison out to the right. Brigham going to get credit for the yards, going to pick up 8. So that's
kind of a speed option there, and that's we don't run a heck of a lot of that because our traditional running game has been so powerful. I mean, we used to run a lot of veer, put it in the fullback's belly, pull it out, pitch back, that whole thing. But with the conventional running game being successful, we haven't had to go to that much.
So a pickup of 8 sets up 2nd and 2. Ball on the 13. They'll bring it back here to the near side. Back to the option play. They toss to Brigham. Kip inside of the 13 down near the 11, which would be very close to the line to gain for a 1st down. Let's see if they move the chains. They do. So, They've moved one of the down markers anyway. Now the other one moves. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Wahoo. And perhaps just as importantly, an opportunity for them to milk a little bit more time off of that clock. We'll move under 4 minutes before the Warriors snap the football here. Still left in the third, 26-7 your score. Kaminsky will motion a man into the backfield. He takes a snap and hands off to Brigham. Kip following blockers off of that right tackle inside of the 10 and down to about the 7-yard line. That'll be a gain of in the neighborhood of 3. It sets up 2nd down.
It's tough to tell from up here, but it does not. It looks like it is a 1st and 10 from where they were, and to get a 1st down, we would essentially have to be about the 6-inch line.
Yep.
So I think, it's basically a goal-to-go situation here. I mean, if we get to the 6-yard line, that's a done deal. But 2nd and goal, essentially.
Yeah, you're right. They can get a 1st down. They'll hand off to Brigham, though. Again, off of that right side. Kip ducks in behind his offensive line, carries it inside of the 5 to the 4. So that'll be another gain of 3. It's going to set up 3rd down and 4 as we will pass the 3-minute mark left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and an interesting, from a strategic standpoint, you have a 19-point lead. In theory, if you don't score a touchdown here, you might think about kicking a field goal, but we've had some miscues on the PAT snap, so I'm not sure Coach Fox is thinking much about kicking a field goal, even though it's a 19 and 22-point lead would be huge. But I'm guessing this heavy direct snap to Ooh.
Oh, heavy direct
sexy.
snap, and they run
Smart.
the double. Yeah, they hand off on the inside to Caden Smart. So a little bit of a wrinkle in what we've seen out of that formation all year, and Smart basically walked into the end zone with a touchdown. Well executed there by Wahoo.
That was beautiful, and I think they ran that wrinkle earlier in the season at one point, but they have pretty much shown everybody on film, we're going to line up, we're going to snap it to Kip, and we're going to go straight ahead. And when they did that counter action, it really caught the defense off guard, because if they would have caught that, they would have had to watch every game this season and would have remembered that counter play, because I think we ran it one time. And Caden is great at running that double handoff. And it looks like we're going for 2.
Yeah, the Warriors line up to go for 2 here, leading it 32-7. Kaminsky will roll to his right, fires a pass out there, caught and into the end zone. That's Brigham, who had lined up as a wide receiver, made a catch over near the far pylon and turned the corner, and he's into the end zone. So the 2-point conversion is successful. It's now 34-7 with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Wahoo comfortably out in front. We'll step away, and we will be back with more Class C1 state championship football.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to championship football. It is Class C1, where we have the Warriors taking on Central City right here on Saunders County Online, 99.3 FM KWAB, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube.
And the Warriors getting set to kick it away. Zaragoza has it teed up at the 40. Nice high kick taken inside of the 5-yard line by Brazy. He'll bring it out. He's hit hard right at the 20.
That was a very rough.
Good hit.
It was a great hit, and he got twisted in a strange way. Yeah, you hate to see that after having Kais get injured earlier, and we kind of talked about it a little bit off air. A lot of teams are going to grass fields now because you plant your foot and it doesn't move on a turf field, and so. This field will be grass in a few years, and, playing on turf, although Central City's played on turf, we don't play on turf much. You hate to see guys get injured because of a surface. But, football games, things happen all the time. So it's that was kind of an interesting-looking twist. You'd hate to see somebody get hurt, though.
Yeah, fortunately, everybody's all right. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, 2:26 left in the third. They'll throw it out here. Pass is complete to Dent over near the sideline. Caught it at about the 29 and fought his way I think, to the 31, which would be enough for a first down. It's going to depend on the spot. It is a gain of 11. So 1st and 10 coming for Central City. Now the Bison will probably have to try and speed things up a little bit here. We still have an entire fourth quarter to play, but Wahoo has built a 27-point lead.
Yeah, you got Dent on one side, you got Hankey on the other, and I would have eyes on those two at all times because it sure looks like they're going to lean on those types of guys.
Low snap, Zickman able to handle it, but he hands it off to his tailback straight up the middle, and his progress is stopped after a yard or two on the play. And that was Brazy with the carry, so it's going to set up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and they're not just going to stop running the ball. They're going to try to, if they're going to see the front we give them, and if we're leaning on that pass defense, they're going to try to find a gap to run to.
On 2nd and 9, with 1:50 left to play in the third. Zickman back to pass, pump fakes, and now looks over the middle. Pass is intercepted.
Wow.
Picked off by Wahoo again.
Logan Kelly, baby. Get a block for him.
Still returning it all the way down. It's Logan Kelly, as John said, the sophomore with the pick at about the 45-yard line, and he carried it all the way back to the 30. That is, by my quick count, I think that's the 5th interception of the ball game by the Warriors defense.
I thought that kid caught that ball. He just plucked it out of the air. Great job by Logan. And really all day, that part of the defense that I was a little nervous about with a prolific pass offense, our back half has played great today. I mean, he just went up and high-pointed that thing. It was a great play by Logan. See it on the big screen here, and he's off to the races with an Oski.
So now with 1:34 left, the Warriors have the ball back at the 31-yard line of Central City. Chance to add to this lead. They'll hand it off to Brigham. He's going to throw it, man, wide open. It is caught. Touchdown.
Dazzle.
That was Fox, I think, with the catch. Josh Fox. So it was a little halfback pass. Kip Brigham to Josh Fox, a 31-yard touchdown pitch and catch, and the Warriors now lead it 40-7.
That's a great play. They ran that play, I believe, against Boys Town, where Noah came to the right side and threw it up, and I'm not sure if it was Josh on the receiving end of the one against Boys Town, but great job. Great job by the Fox family on that call and that play.
Zaragoza to attempt the extra point. Much better snap and hold this time. The kick is up and true. 41-7 now your score with 1:27 left. Wahoo has really poured it on here in this third quarter. We can step away real quick, and we'll come back with the kickoff and probably the completion of the third quarter here in the Class C1 State Football Championship.
Thank you to the sponsors, part of the Wahoo Athletic Club Booster Club, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, JEO Consulting, Sand Creek Construction, Inspro, Simon's Home Store, Retire Path, Rivalry, Scooters Coffee, Doan Tigers, Titles Bar and Lounge, Union Bank and Trust, Vermaline Excavating, Wahoo State Bank, Wahoops, Dairy Queen, First Bank of Nebraska, Wahoo. Again, thank you to those sponsors and everybody who's a part of the Wahoo Athletics Department, bringing the support to the students, athletes, and staff.
Zaragoza has it teed up at the 40. And the Warriors set to kick it away. The defense for Wahoo has really done a nice job here in this third quarter, setting up short field for the offense. This is going to be a squib kick by Zaragoza. Ball is on the ground over there, and finally falling on top of it, I think will be Central City. Yeah, that's Turner Hankey who eventually landed on top of it at the 35, 36-yard line. So at a 41-7 score. Now the Warriors' defense is back out there really here, John. It's keep everything in front of you. Certainly they'll continue to be as aggressive as they have been, but just don't give up any big plays and make sure that you make Central City work for everything they get.
Exactly, yeah. It's all about being smart right now, and let's get this minute and a half on, and let's transition to the fourth quarter and just reestablish that effort to keep them from making any big plays.
Zickman will hand off on first down and out to the 36, 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 3 on the play. That's Brazy, the backup tailback. And unfortunately, it looks like the evening, obviously, for Corbin Keys is over. We see him down on the sideline with crutches underneath both arms. So it's really a shame for such a talented tailback didn't get to play the entirety of this ball game. On 2nd and 7, they'll hand it off again. It's Brazy, and this time he's going to be cut down at about the 39-yard line. So he picks up 2, maybe got 3. It'll be 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, it really changes your thought process. I mean, it's one thing if you got, if Wahoo's fortunate, we've got really 3 guys that run the ball quite a bit. If one of those guys were to get hurt, you feel like you could lean on the other 2 or one of those other 2 to kind of tote the rock and kind of keep your playbook the same. But when you got half your offense that gets hurt, I mean, that really changes things, and it puts a little more pressure on the quarterback and those receivers to make plays downfield.
Zickman's going to throw it here on 3rd down. Pass is incomplete and almost intercepted.
Yeah, Landon going for that one.
Yeah, Phi was trying to jump the quick out route there. Got over his hands, but also over the hands of the intended receiver. That's going to set up 4th down. It's 4th and 4 with 12 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Still Central City on their half of the field at the 39, but down 41-7. Really wouldn't surprise me to see them go for it here.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing to lose. Yeah,
the risk is you give Wahoo the short field again, but at some point that you've got to keep your foot on the gas and try to put points on the board.
Yeah, there's only so many possessions that are left in this game.
There's a good pitch and catch there from Zickman to Dent. He's caught it. That's that slant play we've seen him run a couple of times. This time made it all the way to the receiver, and he's into Wahoo territory across the 50, actually down to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and that is a dangerous play when you get all those linebackers dropped into the zone. You got to wait for that slant to clear, and it's been we've been fortunate to pick a couple of those balls off today, and that just they just got that one.
And that's the last play of the 3rd quarter. The clock expiring here after the catch, so we will head into the 4th. Wahoo in control, 41-7. We'll step away and we'll be back here at the Class C1 State Football Championship.
Wahoo State Bank gives you the home team advantage. From the beginning of your financial experience with Penny Partners, Kids Club with Richie Rover, to student checking for those age 15 through 25, offering a variety of benefits that make banking easy when you're home or away, or if you're looking to finance the future home. Wahoo State Bank has the home team to work with you through life. Member FDIC.
Bring home happy from the Wahoo DQ. We have a large variety of ice cream cakes for any occasion, made with vanilla and chocolate soft serve and filled with hot fudge and cake crunch. Grab-and-go cakes are available for last-minute parties, or call ahead and have one specifically designed for you. We also keep boxes of Dilly and Buster bars, which are great for keeping in your freezer, at home, and snacking on throughout the week. Stop into the Wahoo DQ today for your cake and novelty needs. The Wahoo DQ is located at 1122 North Chestnut Street in Wahoo.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. It is Class C1 football championship. Wahoo Warriors taking on Central City right here on Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, as well as Saunders County Online YouTube and 99.3 FM KWAB.
We're ready to start the 4th quarter. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Central City in Wahoo territory at the 43-yard line after having just converted a 4th down. A little bit of an extended timeout here because of the television and the media. But really, John and I were just talking about it during the break. If you're the Warriors, just continue to keep everything in front of you. And I said it a few minutes ago, if you're going to give up points, it's not the end of the world, but you just don't want to give up anything quick and easy.
Yeah, and what a crazy – we're sitting there going, how many points did we just score in the 3rd quarter? And it was 14-0 at half. We were talking about there's been – 34 points scored between the two teams in that 3rd quarter, and thankfully most of them are for us. But it's been a crazy 3rd quarter. And having said that, scoring 41 points as we have, it appears that we are now the leading all-time scoring offense or scoring team in C1 history, which is a nice accomplishment.
Yeah, you see, look at all the points on the board here on 1st down real quickly. They try a double reverse for Central City, and Wyatt Dent is going to be dropped for a loss on the play back across the 45 to the 46. But looking into all the points scored by Wahoo this season. I was referencing it earlier. Only twice this year did they score less than 50 in a game. Right now they've got 41. Be interesting to see if they get this one north of 50 as well. Second down coming up here. It's 2nd and 13 for Central City as Zickman is back to pass. He's flushed from the pocket, rolling to his left. Going to fire it downfield and out of bounds. That was well covered. Really nobody open down that left sideline, and the Warriors forced the incompletion. It's going to bring up now 3rd and 13.
And we have a Graham Nutzman sighting over there on the right side of the defense, pressuring the quarterback to get rid of that ball. And he was, like I say, rolling to his left. That's tough as a right-handed guy to throw that, but it's tougher when you have those linemen bearing down on you. He had to take off running because the pressure was on, and he was forced to really throw up a ball that no one was going to catch. It was pretty much a throwaway deal, but good pressure there by Graham.
It's really been a tough day for Zickman once his tailback, his starting tailback, went out of the game and he was forced to go to the air. Warriors have taken advantage with all the interceptions. Screen play here on 3rd down. They had it set up well, but it was overthrown over the head of Brazy, the tailback. He had a couple of linemen in front of him, and the pass falls incomplete, and that'll set up 4th down. It's 4th and 13.
Yep, and you can kind of see some body language down there. They're not really feeling great about the situation, and they're just trying to make a play to keep this thing going. But the Warriors have been so tough today on defense and have made just enough plays on offense to make it work. And for a lot of the season, the offense has been just a Ferrari. And this year, finally, we finally made a few plays to blow this thing open. But the defense today really has risen up.
Here we go on 4th down again. Last time they ran a slant. Yes, you're exactly right.
Wow.
So instead of 4th and 13, it's going to be 4th and 18. I was about to say last time we saw them run that slant with Dent, and he probably got actually about 20 yards, just shy of 20 yards on it. So Warriors need to be aware of that, but anything shy of about the 34-yard line, 33-yard line of Wahoo would give the Warriors the football back.
And your guy is right down here in the slot, 26 Hankey, and Dent is clear up on the top side, man-to-man with Landon Fye. Oh, and they go right up the seam.
And
it's an interception.
It is intercepted again by the Warriors. Picked off at the 40.
Logan
Kelly again.
Nice.
Inside of Central City territory. He's going to be drug out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Another interception for this Wahoo defense, John. That is number 6. 5 of them, I believe, here in the second half.
Ball hawks today. Oh, my gosh. And you see that guy running up the seam, and all of a sudden everybody gets puckered up quick. But Logan made a great catch, shoe-top catch right there. It was underthrown, and he's got James out there in front blocking, and really a pretty good return. He gets a good 30 yards on the return and puts us right down here in Warrior territory. We're in the plus territory, 30-yard lines going in.
It's actually 4 interceptions in the second half, 6 in the ball game, and Warriors, as John just said, at the 30-yard line of Central City will try and tack onto this lead. First play of this drive is a run by Kip Brigham. He'll take it down to about the 28, so a pickup of 2. And at this point, you lead at 41-7. You're going to run that play clock all the way down. You're going to hold on to the football. Yep. And if Wahoo can score here, we would be in a running clock situation.
Yeah, 1 point away, really. I mean, if we wouldn't have missed that extra point situation earlier, we would currently be in a running clock. But nothing to worry about here. Just pound it away.
Out of the diamond formation here on 2nd down. They get it to Brigham. Oh, excuse me, that's Bordowski. Sorry about that. Spun off a tackle at about the 25, and spun it down to about the 22-yard line. Nice carry there, and sets up now 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and a good run there by Noah. I mean, he hasn't had a lot today, but he's going to eat a little bit. He's a good between the tackles runner, and he can break one open too, but he is nursing that hand that he injured earlier in the playoffs, so they're kind of being cautious with him, but he's still perfectly capable of getting a first down.
Ball to the 22-yard line. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Warriors. Kaminsky awaiting the shotgun snap. He will hand it off to Brigham, left side for Kip as he nears the 20. I'm not so sure that he I don't know if
Yeah,
he
that's
got
close.
there. He's going to
It's
get a
about
pretty good spot from the official on the far side. If he got the 20, it's a first down. Otherwise, it's just shy.
That is a good spot right there. If he gives us the 20, we'll see. Oh, they're moving the sticks. Wow. If this was a Nebraska or an NFL game, they would have definitely been buzzed in to have the guys up top look at that.
Yeah.
Kip kind of hobbles off the field there a little bit. Might have turned an ankle or something, but talking to Rachel real quick.
So they'll get a fresh tailback in the ball game. 9:05 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Warriors have it 1st and 10 from the Central City 20. There's a snap, a double handoff. They hand it off inside there, inside of the 15 and all the way down to about the 11. That's once again Caden Smart. We've seen that play a few times here in this ball game. The Warriors have run it well, and it's a pickup of about 9, sets up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, that play's dirty. And Smarty will drag guys. He doesn't care. He looked like Marshawn Lynch a couple weeks ago, and he's not the guy you just arm tackle. He will drag you, and he will fight, and he'll get to the line to gain. We got a 2nd and 1, so a great situation.
Kaminsky sends a man in motion. He will take the snap. He's going to pass, looking over the middle. It is incomplete. Had a man in the end zone there and just over the head. Was that Smart?
That was Smart, yeah. Had him in the end zone. He just threw it a little high. He had some white jerseys around him, so Caden would have had to elevate pretty good to catch that. But 2nd one, that's that sneaky down where you can catch people off guard, and you can take a shot. But even if you don't get it, we're still at 3rd and 1. And I would say that this is probably 2-down territory if we don't get this 3rd and 1.
I would agree with you. Ball at the 11-yard line as Kaminsky waits for the snap. He'll hand it off to Brigham. Couple of guys pulling from left to right. Kip gets behind him, and he's got enough for a first down as he took it all the way to about the 8-yard line, maybe the 7. But either way, it's enough to move the sticks. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, that was Bedorski. Yeah, it's tough to tell from up here. A 3-2 and a 2-2 kind of look the same. So good run by Noah there to get the forward progress, and now it's goal to go from the 8.
Yeah, they put it down at the 8. As you said, it's 1st and goal. We're under 8 minutes now to play here in this fourth quarter. So Wahoo has also done a nice job outside of that one incompletion, keeping the ball on the ground, keeping the clock moving. Kaminsky waits for the snap, and he'll hand it off. It's Bordowski up the middle down near the 5-yard line. So that whatever it was, a tweak of the ankle or whatever we saw there by Brigham has taken him to the sidelines, and he's stayed out of the game here. But as you said just a few minutes ago, Wahoo is blessed with a talented backfield, and they don't have a huge drop-off when Noah comes into the backfield. He picks up a few yards. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, we're really blessed with the depth, and that's what it takes to go on a run like this to avoid those major injuries. But then when you have 3 starting running backs, I mean, there's really a lot of things you can do from an X and O standpoint and just from a depth standpoint.
They'll hand it off to Bordowski again on 2nd down. He gets it inside of the 5 down near the 2. They're going to spot him, I think, at the 3-yard line. So 3rd down coming up, 3rd and goal. We're inside of 7 minutes now to play here in this fourth quarter.
I'd say we got some heavy coming at us right here. Maybe Noah dotting the I in the heavy set.
Yeah, or he may even just take the direct snap the same way that Kip has, right? We'll see how they line it up here as they bring some fresh bodies off the side.
We got Scanlon over there. We got Iverson in at tight end. We got a direct snap coming.
And Noah is the recipient. He's going to throw a pass. It is touchdown.
They haven't ran that all year, but I know it's been in the back pocket. And Shada finally makes a play tonight in the passing game. We haven't had to pass it much, but sneaky jump pass right there.
Eli Shada with the touchdown catch. I'm pretty sure that was Noah that threw it. Bordowski with the, I think we'll get credit for the pass.
2 touchdowns tonight. 2 touchdown passes from our running back. Crazy.
Pulling out all the stops here as Wahoo now leads it 47-7. They'll attempt the extra point. It's up, and it's no good. No good, according to the officials down there. But either way, the lead for Wahoo is 40, and we mentioned just a moment ago in high school football, that means it's a running clock situation.
Yep.
So as soon as Emilio kicks this ball off here to resume play, we will, even with incomplete passes and all of that, out of bounds, everything, we will see a running clock unless Central City calls a timeout or unless they get it back inside of 35 points. 47-7 is your score.
Yeah, and if this was Major League Baseball, they'd be getting out the plastic and putting on the tables in the locker room because it's time to. You can feel it. It's in the air. You got 6 minutes and 20 seconds until the champagne pops, metaphorically speaking, and we can celebrate a second state championship in Wahoo football history. It's a fantastic day right now.
Awesome thing, and really an awesome accomplishment for the coaching staff and for all of these players. Undefeated, and they're going to pick up another, decisive victory for, like I said, a 40-point lead at this point. They're nearing that 50-point mark again. John, you mentioned their record-setting year they had here from a point standpoint, so just a lot of wonderful, wonderful things for these boys to be proud of. As Zaragoza gets this one down the sideline, it's going to bounce out of bounds, however, so that unfortunately will not get the game clock started just quite yet. We'll get a penalty, and that will move the football out to, I believe, the 35-yard line, and that is where Central City will have it. I'm curious here if the Bison will put in any of their backup players and try to get some playing time for the second-string offense, or if they will keep Parker Zickman out there at the quarterback spot. At the moment, I think it's a different number lined up at behind center.
Did we bring a few dudes in? I mean, if you got some seniors, you want to get them on the field. You want to give your second-string guys a chance to play on this turf. It's really a special opportunity, even though you're kind of on the wrong side of it. And if you got some seniors that don't play a lot or just want to ride out the rest of their career, they can go out there and battle until the very last second.
Carter Simonson is the new quarterback. He fires a complete pass on first down. Ball is taken out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Try and keep an eye on the Wahoo defense too, and see if the Warriors have any backups in the game.
Yeah, Graham's out there. Graham's a senior, but he's played off and on this year. Owen States is out there. He's a guy that kind of rotates in. He's played some today with a couple of guys, kind of cramps and whatnot. But, it looks like and the other thing you want to do is it's a great time if you're a senior to be out there and watch that clock expire, especially, if we get the ball back, to be able to take a victory formation in Memorial Stadium is a special thing, and I'll definitely be snapping a sixth-floor picture of that here in a little bit.
Yeah, not many people would be able to say that they did that. It was a quarterback keeper, by the way, on second down. So now it's 3rd and 4. Pressure coming from the Warriors, and they're going to drop him in the backfield.
Nuts
as Nutsman comes up with the sack. Simonson pulled down all the way back at the 35-yard line. That's the original line of scrimmage, so that'll bring up a 4th down and 10. First sack of the ball game, I believe, for Wahoo. They've been really good in the defensive backfield, as I said, with 6 interceptions, and now the defensive line getting into the act.
Yeah, and it's really been a great spot for our team. And if you're a linebacker, you love having a dominant D-line in front of you. Jake and Eli and the other Eli, both Elis. I mean, just being able to make plays. Oh, another pick.
How about one more? Almost. Long pass, almost a Hail Mary type of throw, and it's knocked down, almost intercepted. That time.
Was that Landon over there?
I think it was.
It's hard to see from up here, but I think it was. Very nearly had another interception there.
Yeah, but it forced the incompletion, and with the running clock, we will pass the 4-minute mark here in this state championship game, and the Warriors, regardless if they send first or second string offense out there, will no doubt be running the football right up the middle and trying to just get rid of this last 3 minutes and 55 seconds and get off to enjoy the state championship.
Yeah, it looks to me like there's a few guys in a few younger guys in on the offensive line right there. And is this Alex Borcher's deal right here? I can't tell if that. I think Chase is still out there maybe. Yeah.
Looks like it's still Kaminsky at the quarterback spot. He will hand it off. Carrying it inside of the 30, I think that was Noah. Yeah, into about the 29-yard line. So he will pick up 6 on the play. Sets up second down, Nothing fancy, though, here for Wahoo. John, not trying to run up the score. Actually, that was 32, it looks like. That
was Brigham, huh?
Yeah, I looked at the big replay board, and it looked like it was 32. At least he's back out there on the field anyway.
Yeah.
But as interrupted myself there, what I was saying was Wahoo's not trying to run the score up. Just keep it vanilla, run it straight up the middle, and a first down or two, and this game's over. From the 29-yard line, they'll hand it off again.
Yeah, we got Cal Bapst out there. I think he's another senior that rotates at receiver, and it's just good to get in there. And I know in a situation like this, there goes Jace, was getting hugs on the sideline. Looks like AB is coming in to finish this thing up. You definitely want to finish kind of on your own terms and run off the field. There goes Kip.
Yep.
Nice round from the home fans there for Kip for a special season, and his career is not over. He's a junior. So, I mean, you talk about a lot of guys coming back next year.
Absolutely. 2:25 left here as Borchers now the quarterback, takes the shotgun snap, and he'll hand it off, carrying it inside of the 20 and down near the 16-yard line. I think that was Bordovsky. It's tough to tell from up here, but that looked like a 22.
I think so.
Yes, it was. So good carry for him. Let's see. He'll pick up about
8 yards.
Yeah, 8 yards. Thank you. 8 yards
about
on the play.
And 2, yeah. And it looks like they're sprinkling guys in. They're not going. You're not going to see any freshmen out there, but you're definitely rewarding those guys that have been those second teamers that have taken those beatings all year in practice at the hands of Scanlon and Emerson and all those guys. You're seeing those younger kids that are second team guys getting rewarded, playing in the great Memorial Stadium.
Play clock inside of 10. Borchers will take the snap, hands it off. It's Bordovsky with the carry.
There we go.
Got it back to the line of scrimmage, then maybe got a yard or two, which is all he needed to get the first down. Clock is inside of 1:20, and I know Central City has 2 of the 3 timeouts left, but I have to believe Wahoo can move it to a victory formation here and kneel this one out. Chance for you to take your
that's right
your 6th floor picture here, John.
The victory formation is the best formation in football. Oh, it looks like they're gonna let him run it a little bit.
Still in the shotgun as Borchers lines up and waits for the snap.
Oh, ball.
Ball's on the turf, and it looks like Wahoo fell on it. This, by the way, is why you go to the victory formation. You don't risk anything like that.
Here comes about 10 substitutions into the game. All you guys get out. We're going to take a knee. All the seniors are coming in.
Yeah.
We're going to finish this with seniors on the field, and we're going to take a knee one last time, everybody in the game, and we are going to finish this on our own terms here as a group.
25 seconds left.
What a fantastic group of kids, seniors, just such a hardworking group, well-coachable group. And
there's the snap. Kaminsky back in the game, takes the knee. 7 seconds left. That'll run off, and the Wahoo Warriors have done it. They've completed a perfect season, and they are your 2024 Class C1 football state champions. A 40-point victory over Central City, 47-7 will be your final score.
What just a culmination of just a great season, guys. This game, coming into this game, I was nervous about this team because they're such a high-powered offense. And, there's some live stats finally at the end of the game. 111 yards for Jace, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Efficient, just been the name of the game all year. Just efficiency, not a lot of mistakes, one interception. But Kip doing what Kip does, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. Caden running the ball well. But the defense, I think, today was the difference. I mean, those guys really locked up some pretty significant playmaking. Oh, my gosh.
8 turnovers forced.
8 turnovers. And when you're making plays, you're going up and getting those 50-50 balls. And some of those balls were tips. They were, the kind where you do the tip drill every week in practice. You go up and you get those. You high point balls that are thrown high. You get balls that are thrown at your shoes. And really the back half of the defense, which was, the group that I thought today was going to be under the most pressure with that prolific quarterback for Central City. I knew the front 7 would do what they do. They're killers, but amazing job by our back half of not only getting interceptions but turning that thing the other way and just just sealing the deal for Coach Fox, Coach Iverson, all those guys that, they've been going 7 days a week since mid-July, and this is just going to send everybody home with the culmination of unfinished business that they've been working on since a year ago at this time. Just everything has led to this moment, and they have been lifting weights all summer, going to camps, just all those film sessions. Everything is just leading to this event, and they're going to do their post-game "What Wins Games" chant for the last time here on Memorial Stadium, and it gets no better than this right here. And they're coming through that line, and they're getting ready to do the celebration, and it's been a fantastic season, and what a great day to be a Warrior.
Yeah, what an excellent way for it to end up. A game that started so slowly for Wahoo, really for both teams. It was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, and it wasn't until a scoop and score got things started for Wahoo on the scoring side. I won't even say the offensive side, on the scoring side. The scoop and the score by Landon Fye, and that made it 7-0. The 5-yard touchdown run by Brigham gave them a 14-0 lead at halftime. And then, as you said earlier, John, that second half, specifically the third quarter, was just an avalanche of points.
Yeah.
It was defense with interceptions and returns, getting the ball inside of the 40, the 30, and then the offense was so efficient, putting points on the board. And before you know it, it was a 27-7 differential in that third quarter, which gave the Warriors a huge lead. Heading into the fourth quarter, they tacked on a few more touchdowns, and your final is 47-7. Kelly, I'll give it back over to you, but my thanks to John Herrera and all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here, and it was an enjoyable ball game, and I'm glad the Warriors got out of there with a win.
It's been a fantastic season. It's just an honor to be able to come up here and talk smack and just talk football with you guys, and to sit in the sixth floor and watch us win a title like this is just an honor. What a great day to be a Warrior.
It's a great memory for us. I was hoping for, a C1, C2 go back to Wahoo.
Yeah.
But, congratulations also to Bishop Newman for making it to where they did.
Yeah,
Tough
they had a
game for
great
them
season.
earlier. But, again, the Warriors just showing what they have been showing all season long. Again, thank you to sponsors that have been a part of the activities and athletic department Booster Club: Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, JEO Consulting, Sand Creek Construction, Inspro, Simon's Home Store, Retire Pathways, Rivalry, Scooters Coffee, Doan Tigers, Titles Bar and Lounge, Union Bank and Trust, Vermelina Excavating, Wahoo State Bank, Wahoops, Dairy Queen, and First Bank of Nebraska, Wahoo. Again, thank you to the schools for letting us be a part of this, and we look forward to growing and being able to continue to bring more and more to you. And it seems like next week we have basketball starting.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
So, again, it just goes from one greatness to another, and we look forward to bringing it to you. Thank you for watching, whether you listened on our YouTube channels, Saunders County Online, or Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, or on 99.3 FM KWAB, the new radio station being licensed right there in Wahoo. Again, it's a great day to be a Warrior. It's a great day to be from Wahoo. Thank you, guys, and we'll wrap that up. Until next time, thank you to Brian Abrahams and John Herrera for bringing coverage right here.